What's going on, everyone? What's up? What's going on? How's everyone doing? If you guys are over on YouTube, want to hit that like button. If you guys are over on TikTok, go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here. Someone on the request, but I don't know if they're like an actual debate or not. Should we see? We should see. They're scared? Yeah, they're not debating as much nowadays. They're not debating as much nowadays, so... Sorry, I'm getting live on this other account, and then we'll be good to go. I requested, you can wait. All right. Let me hit What's up? You debating?
Sure, why not?
What's
I
going
love
on? What's
I
your
love Trump. I support him because of his immigration policies.
his immigration policies?
Uh-huh.
Why? First things first. Why should I care about immigration?
You should care about immigration because it is a national security issue when we are letting in people that we don't know their backgrounds.
Who was just letting people in?
The government.
When was that happening?
It has happened every administration until now.
Biden had the most apprehensions at the border of any president in modern history.
We should have absolutely no apprehensions. We should have a wall there instead.
We should have a wall there. Why isn't Trump
Exactly.
advocating for a wall? Dude, that's stupid. No, I'm
The,
not gonna have that
the
argument.
wall's in
Nah,
the
no
wall's in
thanks.
the
No,
bill.
nope,
The
nope. That's
wall's in the
stupid.
bill.
Nope,
Did you read the bill?
that's dumb. It's
Did you read
stupid.
the bill?
No, I didn't. It's stupid. It's dumb.
You say it's stupid, it's dumb, but a wall would work.
It's stupid. It would work. How? It's stupid
Ask
people
Israel.
logic.
Ask the Vatican
Ask
City.
Israel, Vatican City. You're going to talk about borders that are 120 miles long versus 1,700 miles.
We can
And I
extrapolate,
just want to
yes.
point out that it does not have to do with the border wall as to why people are not coming across those areas. And I will point out that Israel also gave up on the wall around Gaza. I don't know if you know that because it didn't work.
Let's just get off my
Did you know that?
land. I'm sorry, I was reading a comment.
Don't do that. You know that Israel gave up on their border wall around Gaza, right?
Okay, but why did they build one?
They started building one and realized it didn't work. You're talking about the border on the south of Israel.
Why does Israel have a wall?
Israel has a wall because it's a desert. It's a desert to Egypt. They have a wall set up there that's 120 miles long. That's significantly different than a 1,700-mile long wall.
Yeah, one's just longer.
What's to
What about
stop
the
someone?
Great
What's
Wall
to
of
stop
China?
someone from? What's to stop someone from using a ladder?
I'm sorry. I think we should. It should be patrolled.
I'm asking. That's not. That wasn't your argument. Your argument was the wall. Do not deflect. What's to
What's
stop
someone from
someone from using a ladder?
the wall being patrolled? There should be
It does
patrol.
not have patrol. Don't add a qualifier in. You said the wall would work.
Oh, well, sure. If it's tall enough and it's the way it's designed, yes, it could very
If
well work.
it's
Yes.
tall enough and how it's designed. So now,
Exactly. Walls do
right.
work.
So what's to stop people from using a ladder? Because the
I'm
proposed
sorry.
Trump wall can be reached with a ladder, or someone free. I've literally seen people free climb the wall. By the way,
So you do believe we should have a wall?
I believe what?
You think we should have a wall?
I think we should have a wall. I think it doesn't matter in high concentration areas. What the fuck? Like, there's nobody out in the middle of the desert. People use corridors.
At the end of the day, Trump is shutting
No, not at the
down
end of the day. What's to
immigration.
stop people
Yes.
from using a ladder?
No, no, no. What I'm saying is, you asked. I'm answering your question. Why I support Trump is at the end
No,
of the
we
day,
were
he has
talking
the
about
strongest immigration
immigration.
policy.
Please do not
Yes,
deflect. What's to stop
I'm not
someone from
deflecting.
using a ladder out in the middle of
There
nowhere
won't be a
or
ladder
cutting the
tall
wall?
enough, and maybe it'll be electrified. I would
How
love an
would there
electrified
be
fence.
an electrified fence to
Yes,
destroy literally the environment? So
I could care less
you
about
want
the
to put it, where are you
environment.
going to get all that electricity from?
I'm sorry.
Where are you going to get all that electricity from?
I've got a great idea. How about solar? You'll love that.
That's not what I'm talking about. Isn't this your guys' argument? There's going to be too much energy to run electric vehicles. Now you want to build a 1,700-mile long wall. Do you have any idea how long
Worth
1,700
it.
miles is?
Worth it. Worth it.
How much electricity do you suppose that would take up?
How many American lives are you willing to risk to allow illegals to
Actually, I'm
cross
going to
the border?
stop you right there. If immigrants were to replace MAGA in this country, the crime rate would go down.
You don't know that. What are
I
you
do know
talking about?
that. Yes, I do. There's numerous different studies that show that migrants commit crime at a lower rate. This isn't even an argument.
The migrants should be committing zero crime. They should be.
Migrants
They're
should be
here for
committing
the
zero crime.
purposes.
So should MAGA. So should red states, but they're not. You're taking, and
Listen,
by the way, this is a
you need to
stupid
own
argument
un-
because you're taking what is out of a population 10 to 20 people and equating that to the entirety of the population per 100,000.
You
So
don't
you're
know
talking
that.
about 100 people
You
in a
just made up.
million.
You
No, I'm
literally just
not.
are making up numbers.
Do you know what crime stats are?
Are you
Here, I'll
citing
pull
one?
it up
Because I
for
would
you.
love to.
I'll pull it up for you really quick. You ready? Crime. Let's see. You're concerned about violent crime, right?
I don't want immigrants committing any
Stats
crime
in
or,
the
or
U.S. I don't
illegal.
want MAGA or Trump committing crimes, but that didn't stop you from voting for him.
We have our
So
own underclass.
what?
America will have our own
Okay, I need you to
underclass.
stop and you
Soon.
need to stay on topic. All right. I know this is difficult, but the lesson for
You
today is
said
to
what? I
stay
answered
on
your
topic.
question. If you can't focus, that's okay.
We were
Maybe you should
talking about
focus on solving
violent
the
crimes
immediate
per
problem.
100K.
And I'm saying they should be committing zero crimes.
Yeah, but that's an impossible standard
Oh, how is it impossible?
because not even the White House has committed zero crimes. It's an impossible standard. If one person commits a crime out of a population of 100,000, you can go after the entire population.
You're making up.
If the entire,
You're
I'm not making
assuming
up the stats.
unreported
I'm not making up the
crimes.
stats.
That's
Sorry, I was thinking murders
unbelievable.
per, but violent crimes is 363.8 incidents per
What about
100,000 people.
nonviolent crimes that they
I would
commit?
like,
What
hold
about
on. I'm really
nonviolent
quick,
crimes?
really quick. If you're concerned about crime, why are you not concerned about the White House?
I'm sorry.
If you are concerned about crime, why are you not concerned about the
I'm
White House?
concerned about immigrant crime.
I'm asking you
Immigrants.
why
Immigrants should be.
immigrant crime is not
Immigrants.
more significant than the President of the United States committing 34 felonies. So I'm
Nope.
asking you and by the, what?
We must deport all 30 million
Dude, you
people.
don't have a cogent argument right now. I know this is difficult for you. What
It's not
makes,
difficult.
I need you to stop because you're deflecting, and we're going to stay on this topic and we are not coming off of it. What makes migrant crime more significant than crime committed by the Trump administration or
Migrant
Trump
crime.
himself?
We're talking about immigration. That's why I support Trump.
I'm
That is the
asking you
topic we're
very
talking about.
simply. This
We're
is a
not talking about
very,
we're not talking about necessarily this administration. We're talking about immigration.
I'm
Where we
asking
need
you
to
very,
deport.
very, right. But the point is here is that there's a double standard. Can you tell me what the difference between migrant crime and crime in the White House is?
Migrant crime should not ever happen
Not
here in
should
the
it not
United States.
happen. That is a moral assessment. I'm asking you
That's
for
not
what
moral.
is the distinctive difference between migrants committing crime and the Trump White House?
What are you talking about?
Oh
Trump
my
didn't.
God.
Trump.
Dude, what is
Why
the
do you
what is
care?
the difference
Don't you?
between what is the difference between Trump committing crime? What is the difference between Trump administration crime and migrant crime? That is the easiest question, the easiest way I can put it. What is the distinct difference? What makes migrant
Okay,
crime more significant? What makes it more
Migrant. Trump
important?
actually shows up to court.
I'm
Trump shows
asking
up
you,
to
what
court.
makes it more important? We're talking
Trump
about the
shows up to
crime
court.
itself. It doesn't matter. That's literally a red herring. I'm asking you what makes the crime itself more significant.
What makes
Now,
it more
what's going to happen here
significant
is
is
I'm going to mute you
this.
because this is exactly what's going to happen before we return to sender here. Is he is absolutely going to continue to
What
gaslight,
makes it more
deflect, not address
significant
this.
is
Did
this.
I?
You
I don't
don't know
remember
the
telling you to
background.
talk. Did anybody remember me telling him to talk? I don't think I remember telling him to talk.
The
It's weird.
background of these 30 million illegals that
Now,
must be deported. We must
can
let
you
them go.
address what I just said? What makes migrant crime more significant or distinct than crime committed
Exactly.
by the Trump White
We don't
House?
know their we don't know their
Exactly.
backgrounds. They can be terrorists.
He's just deflecting. I'm just about to let him go.
I'm
He
not
doesn't even
deflecting,
know.
man.
Hey, yeah, you
Listen,
are,
you
and you're
can't.
crashing out, bro. I need you to stop. You're gonna go. You need to stop unmuting yourself. You need to take a breath.
Don't
And then
kick him yet. He's
Calm
funny.
down. Calm down. I wasn't gonna kick him. He just needs to stop.
Okay.
Take a breath. He is. This is a simple question. You're telling me that I should care more about migrant crime than I should crime committed by the Trump White House, and the simple question is why? And you have not given me the why.
I thought I did. May I explain one more
You
time? And
didn't.
I'll try to be a little bit
Well,
easy.
you
I'll try to be a
didn't,
little
but
bit calmer. Okay.
It
The
is
only
really
thing I'll
funny
say
when
is
stupid
this.
people try and convince me that I'm stupid. That's really, it's
I'm
like the
not trying to
funniest
convince you
I have a
thing.
that you're
question for him
stupid, and I don't
afterwards.
believe I'm stupid. So there you have it. All right. So
What?
at the end of the day, migrant crime, I believe, is worse. Is because we don't know their backgrounds. They can be. I've seen the videos of very young, um, able-bodied men, migrant men, flooding our
And again,
borders.
I'm
We
going to go
don't
ahead
know
and
their
stop you
backgrounds.
right there because that's not what I asked you. I'm going to keep asking this question until I go red in the face.
Yeah,
What is the
listen, not
distinct
knowing.
difference between migrant crime and crime committed by the Trump administration? That is a simple question. I've asked it to you about a half dozen times. I don't want
The
to continue to
background.
ask it. Do you not have an answer?
I was gonna say, not
Their
knowing the country of
background.
origin
It's
of
their
the
background. We don't
perpetrator.
know their background.
Real quick,
What?
how does not knowing the origin of the perpetrator make the crime any more or less severe?
Because they could be doing horrific things to the United States, and some have.
Okay, let me
Couldn't you
ask you a
say that
question.
about citizens, though?
I want to ask this
Again, we
question.
have our own underclass. We
I
need
want
to
to ask
vet
this
them that
question.
come
I want to
in.
ask this question. Okay, a hypothetical crime is committed, a murder. There's two suspects: the Trump administration and a migrant. Trump and a migrant. Those are the two options for who committed the crime. If the migrant committed it or Trump committed it, what makes it more or less severe? The answer is there are no aggravating factors, but if one is found to have done it versus the other, does the crime get more severe?
Trump's an American. Those
Dude, I can't fucking.
at
This
the end
guy's
of
an
the day,
idiot. I can't. This guy's profoundly like.
I think he
just
knows
doesn't.
he doesn't have an answer, so he's bullshitting
Yeah,
his way until you
the
kick him.
background. We know
yeah,
Trump's
yeah.
background. We
This
don't
is
know
like
their background.
the go-to. Just stonewall and railroad the conversation, and yeah,
And then you can't handle debate because you mute me all the time.
because you're not answering the question.
I am. You just can't accept my answer
No,
that the
you do not
background's
have an
different.
It's a
answer.
non
The
sequitur.
question, you're right. It is a non sequitur. The question is, I know you don't know what that means. You can Google it after this. The question is, what makes one crime committed by one person because of their status more distinct?
Because they're what? What status? They're
You know what I'm
what?
saying. Don't play games.
Their legal
Their
status.
citizenship status.
Okay, citizenship. Okay, thank you. I didn't know if you meant status and because it's Trump.
All right, well, I clarified, so there you
That
go.
wouldn't mean anyway either. It wouldn't matter anyways.
At the end, well, it does. There's a reason why Trump was targeted, and we can. That's very different. For
Can you
those
answer
charges.
the
How?
question? I'm really tired of asking
What's
it,
it have to
dude.
do with the question?
Why do you care about Trump's background so much when we
I
already
really
know?
would like you not to
You know
deflect
his
from what I just
background
asked
more
you. I'm
than
going to
Hey,
move
I'll give him one
on.
more chance, and then I'll ask him something.
Okay, make it count. The thing you're going to
Yeah.
ask him after if he doesn't answer.
Oh, it will.
Cool. Here's the thing right now is he knows. He knows he's caught. He knows he's trapped up. There is no quantifiable difference. The difference is hatred. The difference is bigotry. That's the only difference. There is no other difference, no other reason. That's why.
You're wrong. You can label me as that, and that's the sad thing. Instead
Then
of
if you
having
don't have
civil
another, hold on, if you
debates,
don't have another reason, what am I to deduct?
it's why is it racist or bigotry? Why do you label it that way?
Because your entire argument here has no grounded foundation. It is an irrational belief in something. That is bigotry. And you are directing it at a marginalized group to target that marginalized group. That is hatred.
What marginalized group is it?
Immigrants.
How are they marginalized?
I would like you to answer my question. Jaden, do you have that question?
I have a question, yeah. So your concern here is crime then, not really dependent on who or where they're committing it. It's just crime, right? It's just part one of it.
No, my thing on immigration, every immigrant that is here unlawfully should be removed.
Okay, because you're worried about the propensity for crime, yes?
And that they initially didn't follow the right way of citizenship.
Wait,
I
don't
got you,
do.
but even
Don't.
given that fact, they're still less likely to commit. So if you were to remove every single undocumented migrant in America, what is this administration's plan to deter crime from U.S. citizens?
I got a question after this, Jaden.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Okay, so after we remove all of the immigrants, the illegal immigrants, is that what you're saying?
Right. Because
Okay,
you're
well,
concerned
how
about
about we deal with
crime,
that
so
after we remove the 30 million that are here illegally first?
okay, that's great. Fine. What is the plan to deter domestic crime, which happens at a higher rate, a faster rate, and is more likely to come from U.S. citizens? Why is that not the precedent?
So, how are we going to deter it? I think more policing. I think idea of defunding the police is intrinsically wrong. I think
No one's arguing that.
it was a
God
failed
damn it, he can't stay on
experiment.
topic.
No one's arguing that, and it was never tried.
All right, we're going to
Yes,
give
it
one more
has been
chance, and I'm going to ask my question.
Look at Minneapolis. It was tried in
It was
Minneapolis.
never tried. Nope.
Look at Minneapolis. Why don't you Google it
We've
right
looked
now?
at
All
them.
right,
They've
I have a
actually upped their
question.
police funding.
I have a question. This is my hypothetical. This is my question. Someone commits a murder at the border, okay? Someone commits a murder at the border. What do you think should happen to them?
Who gets murder at the border? By
Just,
whom?
it's a hypothetical. There is a murder at the border. By an immigrant. What do you think should happen to them?
Oh, by
an
an
immigrant.
immigrant?
Right, what do you think should happen to them?
They should be killed.
In my hypothetical, Musk was the immigrant.
Okay, well then he should be killed.
Should he be deported?
Yes, if he's here illegally, yes, 100%.
Okay, he is.
If he's here illegally, 100% deport him. I lived in South Africa for a little bit in Stellenbosch. It's a beautiful place. He'll do fine in South Africa.
Cool.
I'm an equal opportunity deporter.
An equal opportunity deporter. All right, I have one more
Yes.
question for you because this is a waste of my
ahead.
time. Why should I care about immigration? What's the negative consequence on the United States?
The negative consequence is this.
Someone in the comments section said my hypothetical is desperate. Yeah, no shit, because he's a fucking moron. Of course. What do you mean? Like what? Like of course. Yeah, of course it has to get desperate because he ain't getting anything else. Sorry, go ahead.
Did you get it all out?
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, good. All right, what was the question?
What is the negative consequence, the quantifiable consequence in the United States?
Quantifiable Boston Marathon bombings. Those were immigrants.
What?
That's the
Okay.
first.
Oklahoma City
City.
bombing, citizen.
Oklahoma
The Fort
City.
Hood shooting.
Oklahoma
immigrants.
City. The guy
Okay,
that just
Parkland.
the other guy that was just the extremist
Oh.
that just happened a week ago.
You asked for
Right.
quantitative.
In Minnesota.
I gave it.
No, that's not quantitative. That's not a reason. That's you pointing to a crime that was committed by someone and saying that. And weren't they here legally, by the way?
Yes.
We should-
Yeah.
We're
So
not
no, I'm
vetting
asking
them.
you for what? I'm asking you for what is the negative on the United States? Because most of the extremist events that happen in the United States are committed by right-wing extremists, right? So what is the negative consequence on society? People are going to do bad things out of any population. It's called stochastic terrorism.
So why are they a drain on society?
Yes, it's a simple fuck. Is there anybody else?
Okay, let me answer. So their advanced society, there has been such mass influx of immigration. Our schools are overcrowded. They're not
They're actually no,
students.
they're not. Our schools are not overcrowded. There's actually the lowest amount of people in public schools in
Where are
modern
you getting
history.
that
People
from?
are not.
What?
I'll pull it up for you right
Google that
now.
right
There's
now.
literally
Google
been
that.
literally been reports on
Google
it
it.
about
Google it.
public school funding. I
You
will
won't
right
Google it because you
now.
know I'm right. All right,
Public
thank you.
schools. Wait, hold on. Wait. Less students in public schools. Right here. Who posted this? This is from School Estimate Statistics 2024. Yes, public school enrollment in the United States is generally decreasing. Several factors contributed to this trend, including declining birth rates and shift towards private
That's
schooling or
enrollment.
homeschooling.
That's not pupil per
Oh, you're
class
fucking. You gotta
population.
fucking go. You're fucking profoundly stupid, man. You're profoundly. Wells, appreciated. Thank you. He gave white supremacy vibes with the poor 30 million comment. Number one, it's not that high, but number two, if we do, the United States GDP drops by 8%. That's what happens if we get rid of migrants. That's their contribution to society. There's a lot of people crying over on YouTube on the other one. They're mad.
A lot of them here too.
Yeah, is anybody gonna hop in the requests? Is Josh gonna join tonight, or Paige, or someone? So Jaden, how was your day?
I just took a fat nap. Been busy with art projects lately. That's been keeping me at bay. I'm just goddamn exhausted. You know, the whole month of June kept me busy. Just about every week I was out.
Well, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Don't know that I got anything major coming up, but 4th of July is what, Friday?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and
plans.
see that movie Megan.
I think I got plans.
And then, yeah, I'm trying to have plans because I don't want to be around any of these fucking people. But yeah, you know, that's still the deal.
Why hasn't his host given his house up to an illegal immigrant? What a racist. Why the fuck aren't you in Ukraine
That's such
repoing
a
our
stupid
shit?
question.
Why aren't you at the fucking border defending it? Why aren't you adopting children? You guys' arguments are fucking pathetic.
Yeah. Where were you at Butler, Pennsylvania?
Someone said request equals take testosterone. Bro, I'm 6'3". Alright? You ain't got nothing on me.
Take a shot, everybody.
Take a shot. It's funny to watch them squirm and they're like, I'm gonna get him with this one. I'm gonna get him with this one. Nah, he isn't. Watch, this will hurt his feelings. Anyways, if you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here, would appreciate it. I think YouTube on the short side is popping off, and they're crying.
They're crying?
Crying. Yeah, they're crying. Crying.
Oh, I'm about to whoop somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whoop somebody's ass.
All right, we got Joshua and we got Lou. By the way, if you're over on YouTube and you want to debate and you're not scared, all of them are. I know you don't know me yet, but you will. You can head over to TikTok to debate.dude. It's in the link tree in the bio.
Grandma used to sing that to me.
And you guys can go ahead and hop in the requests. We got Joshua Gaines.
Gaines? No relation to Riley, right?
I don't get that reference, but...
Oh, the fucking transphobe. The swimmer chick that lost her fucking match and decided she hates all trans people.
This guy... Is Joshua connected?
2 of them?
Anyways, if you guys are over on TikTok, you want to double tap the screen, see if you can get us up to 50K likes over there. Would appreciate it. That would be cool. That'd be awesome. So you can get mad. Just say you're scared, bro. It's cool. Just say you're scared. Just say you're scared. Don't be fucking stupid. Be able to follow an argument. We won't have any conversations about you being dumb. He's not connecting. If you are debating, go ahead and hop in the request. Would appreciate it. I got the mute. Jaden, hello.
Okay.
Hello, Boston.
Yes, hi, I am Lou and I am from Massachusetts.
Oh, we're
Well,
looking for a debate.
yeah, we're looking for a debate. Appreciate you coming in, though. We are looking for a debate. Oh, man. What a day, what
Yeah.
a day.
What you do?
Shaved my beard.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Hey, me too. Wow.
Yeah,
Brothers.
twinning.
Nice.
Twinning. Yeah, twinning. Yeah, so you see the jobs report today?
Yeah, contraction.
It was for
Lost
private
about.
sector jobs.
That's right. The ones they care about the most.
Oops, I thought he was good for jobs. By the way, it's been declining. Thanks, Trump. What do you got to say, MAGA? You ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, each jobs report has been smaller than it was the previous year.
Oh, man. Yeah, it just keeps going down. Just keeps slowly going down. We really got to fix your mic because I got feedback bad over here.
What?
We got to figure that out.
Was it my fan?
It gets better when the fan gets turned on, but I'm not going to have you turn that thing off. It's got to be sweltering. Don't turn that off.
It is sweltering. I only have the fucking wall AC, and that's in the living room. The breeze doesn't hit the bedroom.
So this is private sector job, the June's job report. By the way, I think they removed public sector employees, didn't they? Or they were trying to. I know they were trying
them,
to.
HHS.
But jobs report comes out on Friday. Private sector lost 33,000 jobs though. I thought he was supposed to bring back jobs. What do we need?
No.
What's happening? I thought he was supposed to bring back jobs.
He thought he was bringing back jobs.
I thought he was bringing back jobs. What's going on with that? Someone want to tell me what I thought? How do you go ahead? Come in and gaslight us. Let's go.
They're coming.
Yeah, come in and gaslight us. Anyways, there's a lot of haters on YouTube. They're real mad.
Oh, such bitches.
They're real mad. Real mad. Is this person debating Blake?
I don't know, boss. Yellow. Oh, I know him.
Hello?
Must have been an accident. Yeah, he's a
Hello?
friend. I'm gonna get him out of here. Oh,
Be respectful. You will get yeeted over on YouTube over there. Period.
That's
T.
right.
Unemployed activity. Actually, this is my job. Stay mad. Jobs coming in 2 weeks. I thought it was first week of the month.
Usually is.
He has his butt buddy, bro. I have debated more people than you've met in your life by myself. So chill. Chill. All right, are we gonna go into the news because we don't have any debates? I want to point out all of you guys are weak on the shorts because you could come over to TikTok and debate, but you won't because you're scared. It's always funny too because they talk a lot and then they go like, "Come debate me," and they be like, "Debate Charlie Kirk." Squishy face.
Squishy we've never had to do that.
No, I've never had to be like, "Yeah,
defer to other people."
Go debate Parker, huh?
Right.
Huh? Go debate Parker. Go debate
Dude.
Parker.
Huh? It's weak sauce. It's the equivalent of saying my dad can kick your dad's ass.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Stand on your own ground.
My dad can.
There's a couple
My
Democrats
dad
I would debate.
Who?
Oh yeah.
I'd probably debate. I'm really important. I think he's so moderate.
That loser.
Yeah, we would have conflicting ideas. Hey, did
Yeah.
you guys hear they're opening?
I don't know him like that, so I'm not gonna say anything about him. I did see him debate.
Oh, I don't not like him. I mean, he's a good guy. He has great points, but we differ.
That unfiltered guy I don't really like.
Yeah, The
guy that's on the
unfiltered
unfuck.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He tries too hard to be.
To be smart.
No, he tries too hard to be 25 years
Yeah.
old.
Stop with the backwards hat bullshit. You're not fooling anybody.
Got my
the
hat on
receding hairline
backwards.
show.
My hat on
Yes.
backwards.
I wish I was Fred Durst.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Did you guys see
Anyway.
that they're actually put people in what is it, alligator Auschwitz? Is that what they're
Yeah,
calling it?
alligator
Auschwitz.
They might as well call it Auschwitz, but
That's what
Alcatraz,
I'm
yeah.
calling it.
Yeah, and they have hats
Yeah.
for it now, merchandise.
Oh,
You know, even the Holocaust was at least decent enough to not sell snow globes, but this fucking asshole has got hats in the gift shop now.
You know,
Well,
you see
appreciate
people
again for the
they're
5,
walking
thank you.
around there. They're like, look at what they've done. 8 days. They built this in 8 days. This is incredible. I honestly, if they had cell phones and cameras like they did in the 1940s, that I can see people doing that back then too.
This
Look
is
at this incredible
actually,
building
by the
that-
way, this is something that that a lot has been written about. What's called fascist optics. That to exude strength, and so they do it through optics, right? Like, they built like a bunch of like really like impressive looking, just these big kind of like corporate, but like, you know, Romanesque style buildings in Nazi Germany. And they would use it as propaganda. It's the same exact thing. The same exact thing. Same exact thing. Okay.
And I'm getting all the stories pulled up.
I can go over it in just a minute here. I think maybe can we strike the Diddy story?
What? No, that's the funniest one.
Oh, is it funny?
I mean, it's karma.
Yeah.
Okay,
See,
well,
Josh says yeah.
I know, but it's everywhere right now in the news. And he's a monster.
We had a live about it.
And you know who's friends with Diddy? Trump.
Trump. That's right.
Trump is friends with Diddy. Are you friends with Diddy, Jaden?
I can't say that I am. No.
Hey man,
No,
can you
me?
get in touch
No.
with Can you get in touch with Taylor Swift by chance?
Yeah, I got her on speed dial.
Either one of you.
I'm probably closer to being able to do that, maybe. And even still, that's far away.
We need so there's a friend of ours on TikTok. She has terminal cancer. She really doesn't have she was just placed
Oh, I thought you were making a
hospice.
reference.
That took the
I thought you were making a
turn of
reference
his
to my
lifetime.
stalker.
Well,
I thought you were making a reference to my
It's one
stalker.
of those. No. It's one of those things like
That's why I
if
laughed.
that's possible, if anybody could do it, it's going to be like you, Jaden, or Good Trouble, or Tommy. You know, these are the
Probably Good
people
Trouble.
that could. Yeah.
Apparently.
And just a visitor in hospice would be freaking mind
In
blowing.
hospice? How much time do they have?
Not long, bud. Not long.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to do it fucking yesterday.
Okay. Go ahead.
I don't have those resources, Josh. You're asking a lot of me. Do you know Taylor
I don't know.
Swift? Yes, yes,
Listen,
I do.
I think I'm way past 6 degrees of separation. It's like 100 with Taylor Swift. But according to my stalker, I'm friends with her, so you know. Yeah. Alcatraz is a prison where criminals with due process went. Auschwitz is where people were dragged away and an intern without any process, often with just a black bag over their head. Andre, you appreciate the 10 over on YouTube. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? Andre, you, thank
Like
you.
30 seconds. I'm going to get a drink.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Oh, GT's already on it. Oh,
Tell me
Well,
why I support
Jaden-
narco-terrorism. Who said I support narco-terrorism? I don't support the Trump administration. Boom! Boom!
I don't know what narco-terrorism
Andre, you
is.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, you live on the border. You should know what that means.
I'm assuming the cartels are causing.
Yeah, they're talking
terrorism?
about. No, they're talking about. They're talking about. Like literally cartels moving drugs.
Oh.
Anyways, if you guys want to double tap the screen over on TikTok, comment, interact, help get some people in here. We do have a 30 sub goal on the night. If you guys want to support that, you can sub on any one of the platforms except for the YouTube short side. There is the, in the link in the bio, there is the news dude where you guys can watch all of the, watch the normal one where you can sub. The horizontal. But we're on the short side over on OK High. So.
Yeah, GT, he's raised over $15,000 for Monica. I think this would be the cherry on the I don't know, cake? I don't know. What on the pie? Cherry on top.
Well, you don't put cherries on top of pies, you bake them into them.
I want to appreciate
the milkshake.
You want to know what's going to set these guys off? I
Right.
want to appreciate everybody over on the YouTube short side for being in there. I really do appreciate all of your nasty comments because all you're doing is helping me get monetized on there quicker. I really appreciate it. I really do.
True.
Isn't that the greatest
love
thing?
it.
That's
Love
going to set them off more. I really appreciate you. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks. Literally just helping me
Hey
get
guys,
views over
this
there.
is. I know you can't see on shorts who's talking. This is Tic Tac. I do a lot of the editing on the shorts. If you go see his shorts, talk a bunch of shit about my editing on there. Tell me what you think about the editing on the shorts, please.
Okay, we'll do. Will do. I gotta do
That's a
some more
trick.
tonight. So
I'm just trying to get people to boost your videos.
oh,
All right, I'm ready.
I gotta go schedule out some stuff over there. 1 second, let me get it going. If you're
No
debating, go ahead and
problem.
hop on in the request and double tap the screen while we're going. He said Tic Tac. Hold on 1 second, let me stop the recording. That's because Josh's username is Tic Tac. That was funny. Now you look stupid.
Yeah, the ladies gave it to me in college. Because I'm minty fresh. That's what they said.
Oh, okay. All right, that's not what I was
Yeah.
thinking. But okay. All right.
That's not what they were thinking either.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, Jaden, what do we got for the news?
A lot of interesting things today. Today is Wednesday, July 2nd. Top of the story here. A former FBI agent accused of egging on rioters to attack police during the January 6 riots at the U.S. Capitol is now serving in the Justice Department as part of a so-called weaponization working group. Sources familiar with the appointment confirmed to ABC News. Jared Wise was on trial when he was pardoned as part of Donald Trump's sweeping series of pardons and commutations for nearly all of the more than 1,500 individuals charged in connection with the Capitol attack. According to sources, Wise is now serving in the department as an investigator and counselor to Ed Martin, the former interim D.C. U.S. attorney whose permanent nomination to the post was rejected by Republican senators concerned with his past vocal advocacy for January 6 rioters and other controversial actions he took in Trump's first 4 months in office. Let's unpack this, okay? Just a few, years ago, these people were decrying the very usage of a so-called FBI informant as part of January 6th. And now they're rewarding it? They're giving him a seat at the table? I mean, we talk about how cognitive dissonance manifests itself into fascistic thinking. This is exactly that, 101. That one moment he's a traitor and he's a Democrat and he's an FBI informant that led them astray. But no, it's come on in. Here you go. Here's a job. Here's an appointment to our administration.
Yeah, fascism relies on vast contradictions. That's the entire point and purpose of it. And those things don't have to be challenged. I think it's kind of interesting, the psychology of it. It really is. Of people not taking accountability for that cognitive dissonance at all. It's actually really shocking. Really, really shocking. Like, it just, I don't know if it just doesn't click. I'm not really sure what that is. It's delusional, for sure, but we see this pretty regularly, where we love free speech on social media platforms, but also it's okay that must ban people. Whatever it is. We see it all the time with the right wing. We point it out in debates pretty regularly. So, Josh, got anything?
No, I don't.
All right, 1 second. Tia, appreciate the 10 gifted. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Tia with the 10 gifted? Appreciate ya. Tia, as always, thank you. Kelly with the 5. I'll address that in a minute. Trixie, appreciate it. Thank you for the 5. I'll address that in a minute. Joseph, appreciate it with the 2. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for all of them? Thank you, guys. All right, what do you got for the next story?
All right. A federal judge blocked a Trump administration policy barring migrants who cross the U.S.-Mexican border for seeking asylum, issuing a major blow to President Donald Trump, who has sought to seal off access to protections on the border. In a sharply worded decision issued Wednesday, U.S. District Judge Randolph Moss found that the administration overstepped its authority by bystepping immigration law. Reading, the president cannot adopt an alternative immigration system which supplants the statutes that Congress has enacted, Moss wrote. Ruling targeting a signature element of Trump's agenda comes as the administration touts low border crossings. Current and former Homeland Security officials have previously cited the clampdown on the U.S. southern border as contributing to a sharp decline in unlawful crossings. In June, the U.S. Border Patrol recorded just over 6,000 encounters, according to federal data. Earlier this year, immigrant rights advocates, including the American Civil Liberties Union, or Las Americas Immigrant Advocacy Center, and Florence Immigrant and Refugee Rights, sued over a presidential proclamation that effectively shut down asylum at the southern border. The challengers argued that the proclamation endangered thousands of lives by preventing people from seeking refuge in the U.S. Now, the whole concern here has been about legal migration, okay? And asylum seeking is the legal process, and now they're stepping back from that. They're trying to withhold one's ability to do that. So really, the narrative is not, can you come in here legally? It's, you shouldn't come in here at all, regardless of how you do it.
Right, he's regularly said that. He's regularly said that he wants to go after people that are born in the United States. And he keeps losing because he does keep trying to. These orders are constitutional, obviously constitutional. They're just shoving stuff in there and praying. At this point, it seems desperate. Like he's lost 93% of court cases or something like that. And he claims he's a winner. A 7% win rate, is that a winner? Like he just keeps losing. And they'll go, Democratic judges. It's even right-wing judges. But even then, you can't argue with the facts of it. He's losing in federal court pretty regularly. At this point, I think it's just getting pathetic. I don't really know what the end goal is here. Like, wouldn't you get tired of losing? You know, you're like a lawyer. It's like, I gotta file this again. God damn it. All right, yeah, I lost. Okay, yeah, give me another one to file. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's pretty pathetic. It is pretty pathetic at this.
Now, apparently, he's got 4 more years left of this. So
4 more years of losing, and we lost jobs today. We lost jobs.
That's right, and it's just about to get into that.
So before we do, like, I look at this new executive order. This is just another remain in Mexico policy. This is just another way for him to say remain in Mexico, which is going to cause the exact same thing. I mean, there are bad people in this world who are going to take advantage. If people are seeking refugee and they're not allowed to cross this country, there are people in this world who are going to take advantage of those people at their lowest points in their life. And he does. He touts we have 0 people coming across the border. Yeah, that's because of fear. We've always been an accepting country, and now out of fear, people are afraid if they come here, they're going to get scooped up and sent to Syria. You know, I mean, this is not the way to do it. This is remain in Mexico all over again.
Yeah. Yep, they're just trying to find new ways to do and implement their policies. Now jobs. Let's talk jobs. I want to talk jobs.
That's right. So here we go. The private sector lost 33,000 jobs in June, badly missing expectations for a 100,000 increase, ADP says. Private sector jobs unexpectedly contracted in June. Payroll processing firm ADP said Wednesday is a potential sign that the economy may not be as sturdy as investors think. Private sector hiring unexpectedly contracted in June, payrolls processing firm ADP said today, in a possible sign that the economy may not be as sturdy as they bid the S&P 500 back up to record territory to the end of the month. Private payroll lost 33,000 jobs in June, the ADP report showed, the first decrease since March 2023. Economists polled by Dow Jones forecast an increase of 100,000 for the month. The May job growth figure was revised even lower to just 29,000 jobs added from 37,000. Though layoffs continue to be rare, a hesitancy to hire and a reluctance to replace departing workers led to job losses last month, Nella Richardson, ADP's chief economist, said in a press release published Wednesday morning.
I want to say this. Someone in the comments said, it seems like you guys want the country to fail. Look at that grin when you made it say lose jobs. Okay, so here's the thing. We don't. We just told you that it would. And now I'm going to sit back with a shit-eating grin as you guys have to eat your words. He was supposed to bring jobs back. We lost jobs. That's the end of the discussion. You guys said he would bring jobs back. He's losing jobs. That is a complete, colossal, unmitigated failure. There's no way to remove yourself from that cognitive dissonance. He's going to bring back jobs, yet we lost 33,000. That's all there is to talk about, period. And even if you want to say, well, they could do a revision, they could. Maybe it goes up into the positive. There could be a revision. However, Biden created more. Democrats create more. That's all there is to talk about it. Biden created more jobs when adjusted for COVID. Because if you don't adjust for COVID, it's really bad. Biden created more jobs adjusted for COVID. It's even worse for Trump. Adjusted for COVID, Biden created more jobs. Nothing else to talk about. It's like 2 million a year, 2.2 million a year. Trump created 1.9. And now we're watching as his policies, his new policies that he's implementing, that he's such a genius, he couldn't figure out the last time he went and trying to implement these. They're destroying the U.S. economy. And I've been pretty accurate on this. Because you remember I said it was going to take a couple months where we start watching. Like this is 2 months ago or so, a month ago, where I was talking that eventually we're going to watch this fall off happen, where it's just going to slowly decline. And then it's going to like, okay, the worry is going to amplify. And that's what we're watching happen. So it's not like I didn't say this wasn't coming. I've been saying this for a long time. So we're finally seeing it materialize. It's going to get worse. And the thing that I talked about was that I hoped that the Trump administration would realize, in reference to that initial comment, that they're making this mistake before it's too late and we end up in economic catastrophe. The whole point I want here is that I want the Trump administration I want their policies to fail like they're going to, so that you guys see.
Unemployment is also expected to tick up by a percentage point. But I think it's laughable, for one, that frequently what we'll see is them flaunt and tout the jobs reports as they come in and exceed expectations. But what they don't fail to account for is when you look at the jobs lost, it's almost matched, if not greater than the amounts that we gain each month. So I think we may very well see a trend in that direction as well, that we are not creating jobs or replacing the migrant jobs that they claimed at the rate that we otherwise should be. People are losing jobs. And as a result of this, we're going to see a contraction in our economy. Whether or not that spells recession territory is to be determined. I think at some point we'll see a recession. But it's really nothing to flaunt and tout as a booming economy right now.
Right. So, Josh, do you have anything? Or can we move on to the next one?
Move on.
All right, next story here. Trump administration freezes billions in funding for after-school and summer programs. Let's get into that one here because, as we all know, Republicans love feeding hungry children. Day camp providers and schools say that Trump's administration's freezing of funds could ruin summer for low-income American families and jeopardize some after-school programs next year. The administration is holding back over $6 billion in federal grants for after-school and summer programs, English language instruction, adult literacy, and more as it conducts a review to ensure grants are aligned with President Trump's priorities. The move creates uncertainty for states and schools as they budget for programs this summer and in the upcoming school year because they don't know if they'll be receiving the funding. Democrats say the administration is flouting the law by holding back congressionally appropriated money. Without the funds, schools say they won't be able to provide free or affordable after-school care for low-income kids while their parents work and may not be able to hire staff to teach children who are learning English. Classes or camps underway this summer could be in jeopardy too. The Boys and Girls Club of America depend on some of the funding to run their camps and other summer programming for low-income students. If it's not restored soon, the program could end mid-season, said the Boys and Girls Club president Jim Clark.
Because the Republicans they love
kids.
They love the kids. Remember, that's what they
Protect
tell us.
them
They tell us all
kids.
the time. And this is after last week, Greg Abbott wouldn't pay out $60 million to
right.
kids because he was like, well, we don't know if the federal government is going to give us a $400 million subsidy, which is what was part of that, by the way. So now instead of getting $60 million, they get nothing. This is insane. They say they're the party, they want to protect the kids. They want to protect the kids. But, you know, I think it's more of an abusive relationship, really, if you think about it. Where they want the kids to live, just be very neglected. You know what I mean? Very,
keeping you
very
alive.
neglected. Yeah.
And
I think
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say when you combine this with the fact that they're taking away SNAP and camp, so like I went to camp as a kid. I told the story earlier. I went to camp as a kid because I had a single mom and my mom had to work during the day. So that it was a place. It was a babysitter, right? But it was something that I go and I make the what were they called, gink, the little bracelets and stuff like that. Anyway, this is specifically gonna affect single parents. Like they're gonna have to make a decision on do I pay to send my kid somewhere, or do I have to stay home from school, or I'm sorry, stay home from work? This is an attack on single families, essentially.
That's right. That was actually what I was about to say. Was looking back at my not too distant childhood, those programs were pretty instrumental. And I remember what it was like to have summer camp every summer when I was growing up. I had a single mom; she was working, and the stresses of having to raise a family alone can really get to you. But these programs certainly do alleviate that. I remember even when I wasn't in doing any kind of day camp or summer school or whatever, there was a truck that would drive by and give out free lunches at the park for free, completely free. A sandwich, milk, fruit, all that stuff, you'd have it completely free. It was paid for by the government. If like thinking back, if I did not have those additional instruments in my life, I don't know how much worse it could have been, or how much hungrier or less active I could have been because of that lack of care. And I think, I worry very much about what the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of children in America may be affected by this, how that's going to impact their lives moving forward.
Right. Sean, appreciate the 5 over on YouTube. Republicans have a problem now that they're in charge of the Fed and state. For some, they can't blame each other or push it off to the other. Sean, appreciate the 5. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? I'm going to read everybody else's messages over there as soon as we're done with the segment. All right.
Got another crazy story here. Coming out of Florida. President Trump approved Florida's plan to expedite deportations by using National Guard members as immigration judges. The plan includes training National Guard officers as immigration judges with a training duration of 6 weeks. Governor Ron DeSantis has been advocating for federal approval on this initiative. Speaking from Ochope, President Trump said on January 20th they signed an executive order empowering governors and state police to be deputized to enforce federal immigration laws, and Ron's already taken advantage of it. Trump expressed his support for DeSantis' proposal, saying, "Yes, he has my approval. That wasn't too hard to get, was it, right? He didn't even have to ask me." The National Guard, in a statement to Wink News, identifying 9 judge advocates who meet the Department of Justice requirements to be trained as immigration judges. Immigration attorney Fola Olanumbi expressed concern with the plan. "Oh my goodness," was my reaction. "Immigration law is very complex," Olamdumi said. With immigration judges, you have to have a certain amount of experience and understanding of the laws in order to be able to do the job. You're going to have people on the bench that don't understand the process, they don't understand immigration law, and so what we're going to see is a lot of it is just this case is going to sit, he or she is going to sit there. They're going to listen, but then they're just going to deny while the process is in place, she said.
Yeah, can you...
What's up?
Oh, are you done? I don't know if you're done the segment. Oh, so like the thing is with this is like there's going to be so many reversible errors. Like you're going to stack the appellate court, because they don't know what they're doing. A 6-week course? What is this?
A 6-week
There
course,
is
yes.
like, there are times where there's like judges that do that, and like they have stand-in judge or whatever, like fill-ins. I don't know the process because some states are different. Like my state has temp judges like that. They go through a training. I don't think it's 6 weeks. Like it's not a full legal course, but it's not 6 weeks. You're gonna see irreversible errors. There's no way it's 6 weeks, but you're gonna see reversible error, like really, really badly. You're gonna watch the appellate courts get stacked up, and it's gonna be an absolute mess. So,
they're gonna appoint cops to be judge, jury, and executioner. That's what's happening right now.
And you cannot expect them to be impartial on this because they're beholden to not only DeSantis but Trump. And these were 9 people that they handpicked to deliver these roles to. They're not going to deliver a fair process. They're not going to even offer them any kind of due diligence here. This is a sham of an excuse to say that, oh, look, we've got more judges at the border, when really you don't. You have somebody in a wig.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like appointing magistrates, that's one thing, but like appointing a cop, come
National
on.
Guard. Yep.
A C
it's
C
officer
minus
national.
student.
Yeah, flunky.
I mean, well, we've had at least 2 of those out of the last 4 have been presidents. So
That's
Trump and
true.
Bush. What's
Yeah,
our
that is
next
true.
story on the night?
All right, we're winding down here, but a skydiving plane goes off New Jersey runway and crashes into the woods, sending 15 people to the hospital. 15 people were taken to the hospital when a skydiving plane ran off a runway and crashed into the woods near an airport in southern New Jersey on Wednesday evening, according to the authorities. The incident at the Cross Keys Airport, about 21 miles southeast of Philadelphia, involved a Cessna 208B carrying 15 people, according to the Federal Aviation Administration spokesperson, who said it was under investigation. Aerial footage of the crashed plane shows it's in the woods with several pieces of debris nearby. Fire trucks and nearby vehicles surrounded the scene. 3 people are being evaluated at Cooper University Hospital's Trauma Center in Camden, New Jersey, and 8 people with less severe injuries are being treated in its emergency department. Wendy A. Morano, a spokesperson for the hospital, said 4 other patients, also with minimal injuries, are waiting for further evaluation. She wasn't able to provide exact nature of the injuries. Now, I cannot quantify this to be true, but it certainly does seem like we're seeing an uptick in these accidents happening at airports, particularly with smaller
Yeah, I don't know. I
planes.
did see some numbers on it. I think it was a little high, but it was... it wasn't like too bad. So I don't know yet. We know that air traffic control is stressed. I don't know what the situation with air traffic control of these small airports are, but consider them to be
still
stressed.
understaffed.
Seeing some of the reports come back from people that work there, and it is an absolute nightmare. They're not happy with it.
And I think that's the
we got one
concerning
more
part, is that these sort of bombshell reports may come after the administration is long out of power, and we'll see just how short-staffed and ineffective they were during the Trump years.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have one more story.
That we do. You guys ready? Sean Diddy Combs was denied bond after being convicted of can't say that word. Schmeck's work-related offenses Wednesday. He was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering charges that could have put one of hip-hop's most celebrated figures behind bars for life. The mixed results capped a sordid legal odyssey that shattered Combs' affable Puff Daddy image and derailed his career as a Grammy-winning artist and music executive, fashion entrepreneur, brand ambassador, and reality TV star. Combs remains in custody as he awaits sentencing. His attorneys wanted him released on a $1 million bond, but Judge Aaron ruled against that request. saying the applicable law doesn't follow for Combs' release at this point. Judge has not yet set a sentencing date for Combs. The maximum possible sentence for each of Combs' 2 guilty pleas count is 10 years in prison. After hearing the verdict, Combs held his hands up in the prayer motion, looking at the jury and hugging defense lawyer Tenny Garagos. Combs later continued to pump his right fist subtly, seemingly satisfied that he was acquitted on the most serious charges. Well,
what was it like? There was, number one, he's a monster, but it's interesting that he took an ex. I can't remember. It was like they didn't find him for sex crimes. I don't know. It was just weird because like the crime that they actually found him convicted of implied that he did the other 2 crimes. Like I know it's not the same set of requirements, right? Where it was like moved someone for purposes of prostitution, not sex trafficking. Like wait, how do you prove that he did that one but not the other one? I don't understand. That is a really confusing thing. Like how did he? I don't understand how they got him on that one, and then he you know what I mean? Trump will pardon him though. Don't worry, because Trump loves Diddy.
Of course he does.
But not the trafficking. Trump loves Diddy.
Yeah.
He said that.
There was a news story that just came out about Garcia, Kilmore Abrego Garcia.
Oh yeah.
Saying that. Yeah. Do you want to read that one?
Yeah, I can pull that one up here. Here we go. Yep, right here. So this is bad news, but not far off from what all of us said would be the case. Kilmar Abrego Garcia says he was beaten and subjected to psychological torture in the El Salvador jail. Let's get into this one here. Boy, this is bad. Kilmar Abrego Garcia said he suffered several beatings, severe sleep deprivation, and psychological torture in the notorious El Salvador prison the Trump administration had deported him to in March, according to court documents filed Wednesday. He said he was kicked and hit so often after arrival that by the following day he had visible bruises and lumps all over his body. He said he and 20 others were forced to kneel all night long, and the guards hit anyone who fell. Abrego Garcia was living in Maryland when he was mistakenly deported and became a flashpoint in President Trump's administration crackdown. The new details of Abrego Garcia's incarceration in El Salvador were added to a lawsuit against the Trump administration that Abrego Garcia's wife filed in Maryland federal court after he was deported. The Trump administration has asked a federal judge in Maryland to dismiss the lawsuit, arguing that it is now moot because the government returned him to the United States as ordered by the court. I think that's BS. That's not moot. If you are wrongly deported and then beaten in prison, you have every right to sue the government that subjected you to
Why
that
would that
torture.
be? Why would that be? That's not moot. Who the fuck would argue that? What kind of lawyer would?
Trump.
What kind of strip mall lawyer would argue that?
Trump.
Hey,
It was like, what do you mean moot? He got damaged. I don't understand that at all. He got damaged, and he is asking for to get the damages remedied. It's not a moot question. A moot question would be like, should I be admitted into this college for this reason? And then you end up getting admitted into the college, but you still go to court for it. What's a moot question? Because it's already been answered. We don't need to ask it. Not this person was damaged is asking for remedies. Jesus Christ. It really is like clown car chaos. Still the funniest term I've heard used referred to the Trump administration. Clown car chaos.
I think this is just shows why they're deporting them to other countries, because if they're in prison in America, they have rights. We can't torture people. That's why Gitmo exists. That's why El Salvador CCOT exists, so that way they can send them to these prisons and they can do things that are inhumane and not have to be accounted for it.
that's right.
And got one more. Wisconsin Supreme Court struck down a nearly 150-year-old abortion ban, 130-year-old abortion ban. Just thought I would throw that in at the end. We good on the news?
That's the news. We got some guy begging.
They're always begging. Begging like a dog.
I'm
These
begging.
guys, they do that for me a lot.
Okay. Is he in the request? Oh, he is. He's been in there a minute.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, fine. If you guys are over on YouTube, over on the short side, or you want to debate, over on TikTok,
No. Just real quick before you add him,
you guys can request
he said,
over there.
He said that we are too afraid to debate him, but spelled two as the numerical form. So this is kind of what we can expect from this debate. Let's add him.
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen here, okay? I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. This happens all the time. You're scared to debate. I wasn't. I was recording a segment, but they always come in and they bomb. They do really, really bad. Always come in and just bomb the debate. 100% of the time. It's a disaster. They suck. They're not good. All right, we're going to get it going. Spark, what's going on? What's your take?
It's a disaster. It's a disaster. You're going to start it off with that.
I think
Okay,
I
first
proved my
Learn how to
point.
spell two correctly.
I spelled all three variations of two. Thank you very much.
All of them are wrong.
No, I used all three. Second
Why
off,
would you use all three? I don't understand.
second
Why
off,
would you need to use all
I'm
three?
from
That's-
Wisconsin.
that's
You guys
weird,
are talking
Mike.
about
That's
Wisconsin in the comments. You don't know
Definitely from
Wisconsin. I know Wisconsin.
I could
You're
I
tell
in
told
you.
you it
Washington.
was going to be a disaster.
Third off,
Told you it
Wait,
gonna
he
be
was
a
reporting the
disaster.
news. What does
I
us
know
having to
why
know
I
Wisconsin
support
have to do
Trump,
with it?
and you cannot defeat this
What
argument.
does it have to
It-
do with
it-
where I live? If you're in Wisconsin, we were reporting on the
Yeah,
news.
that's
So
the
what does it
news.
have to do with anything?
Because I live here.
And
Cool. Did we report
And-
something wrong?
did the story not happen?
Just
What?
With
well, all right.
Okay.
So I joined.
I'm gonna
I
read you guys'
joined
comments
in a
because
second.
it says Republicans don't know why they support Trump.
Wait, do you
debate.
concede? Do you
I'm
concede
going to
that
debate
last
you
point?
right now. I support Trump because my brain doesn't fucking work.
Ah,
All right,
okay, it's one of these.
all right. My brain don't work.
We got it.
Ready?
We got it. We got it. Y'all are debating. YouTube. Funny
I
though. I'm
can't
gonna
argue
go this.
that.
Your stalker made a video saying you and your ex threatened to unalive her. I can't say anything about the video.
Yeah. I'm
I
surprised you
can
read
in
that
a,
out loud.
in a week or so. Huh?
Said I'm surprised you read that one out loud.
No, this is all. Listen, I'm not gonna help I can't talk about it. Obviously, no. There is obviously the lawsuit going in, and I won't talk about that exact thing. I know that she did it, but yeah, that's gonna be part of it. That's all I'll say. So, yeah, I'm not gonna help her out. She's out here making a ton of mistakes. Trixie, appreciate it. What are your thoughts regarding Jeffrey Sack? Who's Jeffrey Sack? Which one's Jeffrey Sack again?
Don't know.
Oh, this guy. Oh yeah. No, he's kind of dumb.
Sachs?
Yeah, he's the one that is talking about. So I don't know about his thoughts on politics or on the economy or whatever. I don't know anything about that, but I do know that he came out talking about Ukraine and Russia taking the Russian side. So he's kind of stupid. That's all.
Okay. We have Joe. I think Mod might have added him.
I think that's
Joe's
the same
here.
guy.
You said Biden gave tax money pallets.
Wait, hold on. I gotta
Yeah.
hold. All right, Jaden.
He says Biden gave tax money pallets to Iran to support the Middle East instead of his own country. What?
What?
Hello?
Joe, you're live.
pallets? Joe, we hear you.
We
But
can
don't
hear you
mute.
breathing. It's pretty loud. To be honest with you. You fall asleep on your sister again? You know what's so funny about the jokes I make is that the people that are most sensitive to them are Republicans that are like, everything's stuff, you gotta be funny. And then the moment that I do it, they're like, no, you're better at it than me. You're right. I am. I am better at it than you.
I thought you were supposed
I am better at it than you. Someone said 82 watching. This is my account I started 2 weeks ago. This isn't even my main channel. So it's really funny. All right, Joe.
Hello?
Back to you. Back to you, sis, you go. Anyways, if you guys are debating Hop in the Box, if you're over on YouTube, and you guys want to debate, head over to TikTok, go to debate.dude. It's in the link tree in the bio. It's towards the bottom, and you guys can hop in and join. So there's that. Oh, immediately blocked. All right. Anybody want to hop in and ask any questions on the night? Anything that happened in the news? We were going to talk about AI today.
I thought we did yesterday.
You know?
I thought we did yesterday.
Yeah.
But want to talk more? It's getting scary accurate. And I hope my parents aren't at that age yet where they're getting confused by that shit. I'd like to think that they still have their wits. They're only in their, I don't know, mid to late 50s now. But if even I'm starting to see that this is looking realistic as hell, then we haven't got a shot. It's really concerning now.
I mean, I'm getting to the point where we're getting to the point now where we've never been before. We're sending stuff over on the mod chat, being like, "Is this AI?"
Right.
Like frequently.
Yeah, no, I can
and
tell.
we never did that before. I mean, I can tell most of the time, but sometimes I'm like, it'll be like a slightly more grainy. It'll be, it'll be something's been manipulated. That's most of what it is. It's not like a full-blown AI video where like, okay, this is clearly fake, right?
Mm-hmm.
But frequently you'll see it and you'll be like, is this manipulated? We gotta have a way. We gotta start implementing like AI checkers and stuff because it's getting crazy.
Yeah. Trump posted yet another batshit crazy video, AI generated. This one is Uncanny Valley territory. It has him. He's rocking out to some song, but he's playing the piano and the drums and the guitar at a concert, some American song or whatever, and the crowd is cheering at him. And why did we elect a man that's living out some kind of weird fantasy? That seems to be all it is.
I don't know.
He's living in some make-believe fucking world, sundowning before our eyes, and somehow or another, no one seems concerned by this. I'll try to find it. It's actually really creepy, but we've all just sort of normalized that this is a 79-year-old man that posts AI videos of him getting suntan with Bibi Netanyahu and wearing king and pope garbs and rocking out to concerts. But Biden was the crazy one, right? Did Biden ever say, I can be pope? I'm the pope. Oh,
Possibly
I'm a king.
I could be the pope.
Ooh,
Possibly
here.
I could be the... It really is sad, weird.
I'm a pope.
I think one of the things about Trump that like irritate me, and specifically the Trump administration, is like just from this perspective, is like, if his policies are so good, why the fuck doesn't he have any of the policies he did from last time?
I wonder that too.
Why is that? Why do we don't talk about that? What the fuck happened to the wall?
He also doesn't have the administration.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
He doesn't do the
like they're
platinum
doing
plan
more.
anymore.
They're doing right. Why weren't tariffs a good idea 4 years ago? Why weren't blanket tariffs a good idea 4 years ago?
Oh, found it.
Someone?
It's full sizes. They don't have an answers. They don't know.
So you guys think the bill's going to be passed through the House?
It's not looking well.
Probably.
Yeah, probably narrowly.
Probably. Do you want to take this? I got to debate real quick. BRB.
Someone in the box?
Wait, what happened there? There we go. Yeah. Sorry the chat's messed up over on the YouTube shorts.
Paranoid?
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
How are you?
Good.
All right, what's up? What do you got?
This is all just my personal opinion. I support President Trump.
Do you know why?
Yeah, I despise the left because of C-19, the border.
Shut up. Who was president? Leftists didn't start COVID-19, but all right.
Governors are the ones who are locking down.
The governors were?
Yeah, in blue states. President
Red
Trump
states had
wanted to-
lockdowns too. But also red
President-
states had, wait, if you're concerned about that, you understand red states had a greater death rate per capita than they did blue states, right?
I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm into alternative
Well, I mean,
medicine.
Probably,
were-
yeah, that
there
doesn't surprise me.
there
But, like, does it not concern you that more people
Right.
died because of alternative medicine in red states?
I can tell you how to treat COVID if you'd like.
Okay, let me ask you first, what is in an mRNA vaccine?
Poison.
Okay. What is RATG13?
I don't know.
But you understand how to treat COVID, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know what RATG13 is?
I have to explain.
You don't understand what RATG13 is?
I've never heard of that.
You should know about that if you're working with COVID, right?
I would be happy to tell you how I treated COVID for myself, C-19 for myself personally, if you'd like.
I'm good because you didn't, but all right. Listen, so you despise liberals for what reason exactly? It's the lockdowns, but not the amount of people that died in red states, though. I'm
Well,
confused by your logic here.
I never got the C-19 vax, despite the.
I got
totalitarian-
that, bro, but you say that you don't like the lockdowns. Are you okay with more people dying in the red states then?
How
Bro,
many
I know
C-19
you're not vaccinated, but we're not talking about the vaccine here, okay? We're
How
talking
many
about
you
COVID.
How many of you had?
I cannot hear you. Your audio is as bad as your take on vaccines, but
How many C-19 vaxes have you had?
I can barely hear you, man. Are you asking how many vaccines I had?
Yes.
I had the initial series and I think 1 or 2 boosters.
So you had 3 or 4?
Yeah, that sounds about right. The Pfizer vax.
No.
Am I supposed to die?
You think young and healthy people needed it?
What difference does it make? I'm not dead.
It didn't stop transmission.
Well, yeah, it did slow transmission.
No, it didn't.
Nobody said it stops transmission. It's about deterring the rate at which it does.
Okay. How
Okay.
much do you think it's? How much do you think it slowed transmission?
I can pull up a stat if you like.
Actually,
Yeah,
I actually have a stat.
You have it ready?
This was published by JAMA in 2023, July 24th, 2023.
Yeah.
The title of it is Excess Death Rates for Republican and Democratic Registered Voters in Florida and Ohio During COVID-19 Pandemic. The results between January 1st, 2018 and December 31st, 2021, there were 159 individuals in Ohio and Florida who died at age 25 years or older in the study sample. The median age, the death rate was 78 years. Overall, the excess death rate for Republican voters was 2.8% higher points or 2.8 percentage points or 15% higher than the excess death rates for Democratic voters. That's in 2 states.
Your specific question was the efficacy rate in preventing it. So here's from the NCBI, National Center for Biotechnology and Information. COVID-19 vaccines reduce transmission between 40 and 95% for Alpha and earlier variants, 24 to 74% for Delta, and 16 to 31% for Omicron, with booster doses and recent vaccination enhancing protection. Effectiveness wanes over time and the results vary by vaccine type and setting. No. Seems pretty efficient.
No.
Okay, do you have a counter study? It's been a hot minute since we've debated the vaccines. I'm not up to par. But
Like I
Yeah.
said, this is just my opinion. I'm not a doctor.
I don't care about your opinion. I
I-
didn't reference my opinion. I referenced the NCBI.
I
So,
can tell-
okay, but I can just dismiss it. Your opinion is irrelevant. You're making a claim. You have to back that with data, reputable data that would support it. I don't care what you think. I mean, who are you?
Would you
A
like
guy
to
with
tell
the
would
shirt
you
off.
like to- would you
Well, so
like
am
to
I, but at least I'm referencing doctors.
You like
What
to
the fuck are you saying now?
I'm into alternative medicine,
I don't give a shit.
but there were all
I
kinds
also
of
enjoy mushrooms.
there were all kinds of doctors in early 2020 who said that C19 could be treated effectively if it was treated early, like on the
Okay,
first
well,
day of symptoms. I can tell you who they
okay, and it doesn't mean that every alternative method is a viable
Dr.
treatment.
Dr. Peter McCullough,
He's
Dr.
not.
Peter
God,
Moore,
he had his license revoked.
Dr. Shingari Achetti.
Why are you citing doctors who have had their license revoked and are ostracized from the scientific community?
Not just that, that's an appeal to authority, but they're not even an authority.
Would you like?
So, no.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'm into
Yeah,
alternative
none of them
medicine.
work
No,
on
no,
the
listen,
vaccine.
listen.
I don't do.
We don't cite people.
Like
Yeah, I
to
wouldn't
tell you
cite
how I
Jaden.
treated
Listen.
myself.
We don't cite people in here. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You need to provide data, not what someone says. You gotta go.
Okay.
He got hit by a TikTok. I actually probably have to reset here.
Oh. Yeah, I was thinking
Yep,
you would
we're gonna have
text
to
me
reset.
and tell me whether or not we can have that conversation.
Yeah, 600.
I don't
people
know.
in here, though.
We're gonna have to reset over on TikTok.
Oh.
I'm gonna reset really
right.
quick. 30 seconds. We will be right back. When we come back in, everybody bombard the chat. Get us up to 50K likes as quick as possible. Interact. Help get some people in here. We gotta reset though.
Well, okay.
All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I gotta. Really wish I could do the COVID debate. But I think YouTube allows it. It used to be TikTok allowed it, YouTube didn't. Now I think that's flipped, which is wild. But here we are.
Don't call back.
Would you imagine? Would you imagine like a staring down the face of like, I don't know, over 100,000 studies and being like, no, those are wrong. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. Michelle, I don't know if you're watching over on here or on TikTok, but appreciate you for the Venmo from last night. By the way, if you guys want to support the channel over on YouTube, there's a Venmo Cash App in the bio. Alternatively, y'all guys can join the Patreon in the link tree in the bio. If you want to support, that's a great way to do it. Or you can sub over on YouTube on News Dude, the main channel. This one's not monetized yet over on the short side. It will be. Well, the dictators who spoke out against the studies disappeared. No, they didn't. They have the ability, literally anybody, you have the ability. That's how the scientific method works. You have the ability to invoke the scientific method, to go over the methodology, to dissect, to criticize. Nobody's doing that because they can't. Fascism? That's
I hate
not what
that they're
fascism
doing that,
is.
man, because like it's coming back around. They're doing hearings in Congress to like they're doing all the, I don't even want to say it anymore, but they're doing the what happened in 2020. They're having hearings on that, so it's going to be coming up in debates and
Absolutely
hitting us for
nothing
it.
will happen from it. This is exactly what they do. They're gonna put people on the stand. They're gonna show the videos all across Republican media and be like, yeah, nothing will happen, and they'll forget.
No, I know. I'm just saying the debates are coming for it. That's all.
I know, but I can't do them on TikTok, so I can. It's weird because I think they lowered that standard over on YouTube, but I can't do them on TikTok. But even on YouTube, it's still kind of, I really don't want to do it because I don't know. So this guy about to need a pardon too. So funny that they're like political opposition should be arrested. It's almost like that's fascist. It actually is. All right, if you guys are over on TikTok, want to double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here, would appreciate it. Would be fantastic.
That's right.
If you guys do the heart me's really push it out there, guys. It costs like 1 penny or 1 coin, and it really does push it out to the algorithm. I've seen it do it multiple times.
This guy said this guy would only debate me if I paid him $30. Well, you can debate for free. You got to go over to TikTok. I was in the middle of a segment, and he was crying about debating me, and he was annoying. Oh, actually, I want you to. Actually, would you do that? Head over to TikTok, debate.dude, and hop in the box, request and join. And you're gonna get it. Just me, solo ya.
Speaking of dot dude, we got the dollar dude going on. If everybody in the we've got 237 people. If everybody sends $1, you can be part of the dollar dude club.
Is that a crypto scheme?
All right.
Yeah, it is a crypto scheme, but you got to send it to Venmo or Cash App.
Oh, okay. I'll recruit my grandma.
All right, I got the. Oh no.
Is he here?
Oops. Did that DC? I hope that didn't DC. No. No. That DC'd the Twitch. Hold on. I'm gonna let you in just a second. Okay, reconnected. Did Twitch reconnect? Okay. All right. I hit the wrong button. My bad.
Thanks, glitch.
RS. What is going on? What's your take?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so your prompt is Republicans don't know why they support Trump.
Yeah, or at least they have a good reason.
I support Trump because he has the same ideals that I have.
Fucking your daughter?
What's that?
I don't have a daughter.
She ain't easy.
I don't get it. Like if he, I mean, no tax on tips, that's going to help me out when it passes. No tax on overtime, that's going to help me out when it passes. These are all his ideas.
It's gonna no tax on tips and overtime. Well, it's about to bankrupt Social Security. Why are you not so really quick? You're aware that they could have given you tax breaks, right? Because the concern is that he's giving out these tax breaks to people, no tips on overtime. I've talked about them. It would be okay if they were making that money back up from somewhere, but they're taking that money away from where it's going into social programs like Social Security, and which is a substantial amount. I think it's $1.2 trillion over the next 10 years, and they're literally giving away $4 billion to the ultra wealthy in this country. So why didn't they tax the ultra, or leave the taxes and then give you the cut? What?
They're cutting taxes across the board.
Right, but it's going to have detrimental impact on you, is what I'm pointing out.
I don't use Social Security, so.
Okay, not yet, but that's not the only thing that's getting cut off of this. They're taking away $4 trillion, adding $4 trillion to the deficit.
I don't care about the deficit.
So, or $4 trillion in debt. No, the debt. Oh my God, what do you mean? I thought you guys are fiscally conservative.
What?
Why are you confused? I thought you guys were fiscally. I thought you guys were fiscally conservative.
You guys, you're talking to one person.
Republicans are fiscally. Are you not fiscally? So you're okay with adding to the national debt?
Yes.
Is that not against everything the Republicans stand for? Am I so confused right now?
It's going to balance out for one, and it's the best thing.
How is it going to balance out? How is that going to balance out?
I mean, you can read the bill. It's pretty obvious.
Where's the other money? Where's that $4 trillion coming from?
From tariffs.
Where can you show me where they're getting $4 trillion from tariffs?
I mean, well, we haven't worked out all the deals yet, but I mean, we just did another deal with Vietnam today, where we're.
I just want to
tariffing
point
them
out
20%.
4 trillion. I just want to point out 4 trillion. By the way, 4 trillion. This is really comedic to me. $4 trillion is not. We wouldn't be able to raise that from tariffs. But if we were, that's a tax on you. You're literally saying
No, I don't live
he's
in
giving.
Vietnam.
So you,
So.
hold on. If you support tariffs, yeah, no, that's tariffs coming here. We pay that, not Vietnam. We do as consumers. If
No,
you're
there's a
saying that you
0%
like
tariff on
tariffs,
American goods
hold on.
and 20%
You
on
understand? Wait. Just listen. Hear me out here. Follow my logic. You're saying you love tariffs, but love tax cuts. A tariff is a tax.
Yeah, on Vietnam.
No, on us. It's taxed when it arrives here.
The prompt says Republicans don't know why they support Trump, but I've already given you like 5 reasons. You
It's
haven't
wait,
debunked
no.
single one.
You're not understanding. Don't deflect. It's taxed when it comes here, which is put on the value of the good, which is passed off to you, which right now, based on the universal tariffs,
Subject of the debate.
Can you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I followed you. I said I don't live in Vietnam. Remember?
We don't pay tariff. They don't pay tariffs. We do. They pay their own
Exactly.
tariffs. We have a 20% tariff on. We have a 20% tariff on Vietnam, which means when their goods come in here, we pay 20% on the value of the good. It's paid to customs.
I can show you right now. It's 0% on America and 20% on Vietnam.
On goods going to Vietnam.
Yeah, that's our stuff.
Right. When their stuff comes here, we add a tariff, which is a tax, which the people that bring it here then assess that onto the people they sell it to, and they assess that onto us.
I read it. It's 0% on Americans. I read it.
Bro, that's on our stuff going there.
No, we just agreed that Vietnam is paying 20% on our stuff
How
going there.
would it be a good
You just said
deal?
that.
How would it be a good deal to increase tariffs on their country for our goods
Because-
going there? That would be
Well,
bad for us. That means our goods would be more expensive
Which means they're paying
for
more.
them,
we get
which means
more.
we would sell less.
We get more money.
Oh my
for it.
God. Bro,
They need
stop.
They need
Stop.
Our, we're not going to sell less.
Stop. Bro.
They depend on our goods.
Bro, you don't
Do you know
understand
what-
how a tariff works, period.
You just agree with me and walked it back. Everybody saw it in real time.
You do not agree or do not know how a tariff works, period.
Oh, okay. It sounded like I did there for
Are
a
you
second.
trolling me?
Really, that's your out. Are you
kidding?
trolling me?
No, I'm serious, because if you don't understand how tariffs work, why are we having this conversation?
You literally agree with me that our stuff going to them is getting tariffed. They're the ones paying it, and then you walked it back like a sentence later. Did you misspeak?
I did
You wanna
not
walk it
say
back?
that. No, did anybody else in here fucking hear me say that? I have it recorded. I'm recording it for the fucking stream, bro. I'm recording it for a fucking video. What do you mean?
Play it back. Play it back. Since you're recording it.
I'm not going to play the whole goddamn thing back. What I said
No,
was
just the part where you're
they
reading.
import their stuff. You can watch it over on News Dude on YouTube when it comes out in about a week, okay?
Okay.
It literally, they ship their stuff here and assess 20% on the value of the good.
Oh, was there more?
That then gets passed on to us.
Yeah, the tariffs that they pay get passed on to us, yeah.
So then it's a tax on us.
No, they pay the money. We collect the money. That balances our budget. $4 trillion in cuts. We still have more deals that we have to make.
What
Because
are
we haven't
you
made all the
not getting about this, bro? I don't understand why this is hard.
Oh, it's a
I
little
don't
hard when you
understand
keep
why
like
this
that.
is hard. I'm not flip-flopping on shit.
Okay, let's agree to disagree on
Jesus
that. What's your
Christ.
next point?
We're not agreeing to disagree, bro. What do you mean? What is this?
You agree with me?
What does that even mean?
Does it sound
What
like
does
he's
that
agreeing with
mean?
you?
I mean, he
Oh
did at
my
one point.
God.
But you start
So no, he
pretending like
They
he didn't,
bring
man.
it
It's
here.
bullshit.
They bring their goods here. That is taxed at 20% with the tariff. That tariff is passed on to us.
Are you a
Okay?
Democrat?
It's passed on.
Are you sentient?
If primordial soup was a person, you know?
It is.
You can't answer the question. Are you a Democrat?
That's all I hear. That's all I hear.
And you know he's
Oh,
sitting
man.
barefoot in a fucking trailer farm somewhere with a tin roof, thinking that all this shit is gonna benefit him for the better.
The point I was trying to get to that we couldn't seem to even get off the ground for was that they bring stuff here at 20%, okay? And then we pay that 20%, right? That's the whole point. So if you're saying that you want to make the money up from the $4 trillion from taxes, right? Number one, we're not getting enough. But number two, you can't say I love the tax cuts, but also thank you for the $3,000 a year I'm going to have to pay in tariffs because of the increase in the cost of goods. That doesn't make any sense. That's not logical. I don't know why I have to explain this to adults. Anyways, we have 15 subs, by the way, on the night. Drew, appreciate it for the 5 gifted. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Drew? If you guys want to support the channel, there is a Venmo Cash App in the bio. Alternatively, you guys can join the Patreon in the link tree in the bio, or you can sub on any one of the platforms. Dennis, appreciate the $2 over there on Venmo. I started playing Minecraft again. You should have a segment with Baby K where you talk about Minecraft tips. Yeah, we bought this mod that you can be a dinosaur, and also there's like hundreds of different types of dinosaurs, so it was pretty fun. Jason, appreciate it, thank you. Dollar Dude Club, appreciate it, thank you. Appreciate it.
Nice.
80 billion will
Dollar
not
Dude
pay back
Club
the
in
4 trillion will be
effect.
lost. Yeah. Dollar Dude Club in effect. I got Lundy. Take him on in.
400 people. We can knock out the goal for today if everybody in here sends $1. That's all it takes.
Lundy.
Is this guy joining? Not connecting. We shall move on. 1 second. Got to stop the recording.
Yeah, just wait till we come out with the Tic Tac tax, y'all. Okay, that's.
Wait, did I just delete the wrong one?
Let me up.
Hold on. Oh, I did delete the wrong one. That was a good catch. Yikes. Who's saying let me up? They always say let me up.
Yeah, it's a person with a cat
Been doing
profile
this.
and 19 followers.
You know, I've been thinking about that. I've been doing this for a long time. You know that?
Oh.
Just think about that. Like, what is this? This is 5 years now? Wild.
It takes 10 years for you to be professional, doesn't it? Isn't that what it is? 10
I don't
years
know
or
what
10,000
what
hours?
it takes. 10,000? I'm way past 10,000 hours. I'm way past 10,000 hours. How many hours are in a year?
I don't
How
know.
many hours in a year? I want to know now. There's
A lot.
8,700. I'm way past 10,000 hours.
8,000 hours?
At this no, it wouldn't be 8,000 hours. I mean,
I think
10,000
there'd be
hours.
more.
Is it 10 years?
I would walk 8,000 hours.
How many hours in a year?
I mean, I probably averaged 5 hours a day for 5 years. So I don't know what that calculates to. Because you think about all the times when I would just do fucking marathons where I had nothing but stamina and energy.
Let's do minutes.
No, I don't think I'm there yet. I'm close. It says 91.25.
525,600 minutes.
Tana Banana meant to join.
525,600. That is a song.
5,000. I got 2 fake ass accounts in here, and I'm kind of sus. Should I let him in?
I see him too. He's insisting he's not a bot.
3 suspicious accounts.
Rochambeau.
All right.
Suspect.
Russian roulette on this one.
Yo, what's up?
Jonathan, hello. What's going on? How old are you?
22.
Drew, appreciate the 10. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll read that in just a second. All right. What's going on, Jonathan? What's your take?
So yeah, I do know why I support Trump. See, I don't agree with everything he says, but he's obviously the lesser of two evils. My choice is either picking the party who doesn't stand up for someone who has cancer and just completely disrespects someone who is suffering, or someone who respects communities and doesn't, I know, like, be disrespectful to a lot of marginalized communities, like the Democrats have been
Trump
doing.
is both of them.
Trump
laughed at Biden's cancer.
Okay, no, he did not.
So yeah, he did.
No, he did
said
not.
he had stage 9 cancer, and then
No,
said,
it was-
"Well,
no,
I passed a cognitive test. You think he could do that?" He did make fun of his
The
cancer
stage 9
diagnosis.
cancer, it was on the, I can't remember what it's called.
He
it's
made
like the,
fun of his
it was
cancer
the
diagnosis,
aggressiveness
then
scale.
brought
It was like
up.
the aggressiveness
Okay,
scale or
right.
something.
He
said,
called it stage 9 cancer, which he should know that doesn't fucking exist, and then
Yeah, but you
insisted
know what he
that
meant.
his
He
health.
meant- it
Hey,
was like-
shut up! He insisted that his health was better. Why would you even bring that into comparison? Well,
I
if a
don't know.
person who has cancer.
Maybe because Joe Biden
think
has
that's
been
respectful?
fucking up the country for 20
Do
years.
you think
or,
that is
sorry, 20
respectful? That's
4
not what
years.
we're talking about. We're not talking about what he did. We're talking about whether or not he gives respect to cancer patients.
He does.
He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
That was a disrespectful thing for him to
We
do.
didn't talk
Was to
about DJ
compare
Daniel?
his, excuse me, to compare his own health to a cancer patient is disgusting and disrespectful. Also, the defunding of cancer treatment
It was
is
not
hardly
defunded, it
a
was
sign of
paused.
respect. Yes, he
It was
has. He
paused.
defunded the 9/11
No,
First
it was-
Responders Fund,
It was
which
paused
treats people
to,
affected with cancer.
No,
So
it
it's
was
okay to pause it
to
then.
investigate fraud and.
Gotcha. So that is the lesser of two evil, is pausing some non-existent fraud
They
for
ha-
9/11
they
survivors.
are still getting funding. It was just paused for a short time.
Jonathan,
Then
can you
what
tell
is the
me?
alternative?
Can you tell me an Jonathan? Can you tell me an inspector general that has had to freeze funding to do an investigation prior to Trump? Why would that even matter? What does that have to do with accounting? What are you talking about? The FBI doesn't have to freeze funds to investigate the fraud. They do freeze funds frequently to keep it from moving.
Don't spend all this money on something that might be like not using that money for what it's for. they
So
were just
remove
making
it
sure
from
was actually used
9/11
for cancer
survivors.
research.
Hold on. So remove. So wait, hold on a second. So remove it
Hey,
from 9/11
Kennedy, Evans,
survivors.
no one died
because
Shut
of
up.
the actual
No
fraud.
one died.
Dude, stop. You're about to go.
I'm sorry.
I want to point this out that there is a former Doge employee that pointed out that they found virtually no fraud.
Yeah. Okay. They were still. That's why they paused it though. It's just they're trying to find it.
Why they
They're just-
paused it so
sure.
they denied for that time period people from having access to health care over something that didn't
No,
end
it
up
was on the
happening with
research.
no
The
evidence.
research
Wait, can I take
Cool.
this
What
one,
was the
please?
reason they wait? What? Yeah. What was the reason they did it? That's the only thing I want to ask. What was the reason they did it?
To pause it.
Like what? No. What gave them justification for it? See, appreciate the sub. Thank you. What gave them justification for it?
The justification was to so we know that we're not spending a ton of money on money that is going to a purpose that is like.
So we
No,
already
what was
know
the-
that.
what was
we
the
already
reason?
know that they weren't doing that.
What do you mean? What was the reason? I already said the reason.
What would have prompted him to think that there was fraud going on?
I mean, because there was fraud going on in USAID and
Was there any other? Okay, well, that's not tied to USA, but was there any kind of flagging? Was there any kind of report that indicated fraud coming out of a
Well,
9/11
Doge was
first
checking
responders cancer
all
treatment?
the Doge was checking all the
Then why
spending,
would
so
you
they
need
were
to
just
freeze
making
it?
sure if we're going to spend all this money on something, it better be going to this cause.
Why would you need to freeze it? You understand that that is weeks worth of efforts that was sidelined. Not only that,
No,
but
it was
federal
billion.
grant
They already
freezes.
have billions of dollars.
1 second. There was okay. Why stop it? There was
I know,
federal
but it
grant
just
freezes
paused.
going
They
into
still had money.
scientific research. Additionally, he defrauded children's cancer charities and was found liable of that in 2019. And you want to argue that he is the person, he's the arbiter of respect for people with cancer?
Well, more than the Democrats who just
Tell me what
disrespected
Democrats have
DJ
done that was
Daniel
as
completely.
bad. On the subject of cancer, don't change it to anything else, okay? Because you made that claim. What have Democrats done that is as bad as freezing federal grants for cancer research, as bad as defunding the 9/11 first responders unit, as bad as insulting the former president with cancer?
What have they done is that bad? Like anything?
On the subject of cancer.
Oh, I'm not sure. I haven't done a ton of research on Democrat cancer.
Well, if that's the
research.
lesser of two evils,
I mean, I can go into another reason why I support Trump. I mean,
so
I
you
already said
can't
that
answer
one, and
that.
You guys cannot.
I mean,
debunk me.
all of those things in a vacuum indicate that he's the worst possible person in the room on the
No,
subject
he doesn't.
of
And
cancer.
also, another reason why I support Trump is because he doesn't let a million immigrants, illegal immigrants, into the country every year.
Well, Molly
No, he
Taylor
lets him
did
into the
that.
White House. No, he lets him into the White House.
Oh, what? Hey, Deborah, shut the fuck up.
Can you get out the comments, please?
Okay.
Well, people are
I
adding.
mean, if
me.
you're
gotta-
failing
you
so
gotta-
badly in the debate up here, at least take it to the comments.
Dude, I'm not. You guys
Well, you
are.
are.
literally
You
getting
just said
toast.
you didn't have an answer for the first thing we
With the
pressed you on.
cancer stuff?
Yes, you said that he's better for people with cancer or something along those lines. You said he doesn't disrespect people with cancer. That's what you said, right?
I know. Okay, yeah.
And he did.
You said Joe
does
Biden,
when
who
he
was the
defrauds
president of the
children
United
cancer
States, who
charities.
was who let millions of illegals into the country, which is.
He didn't let people in.
He let them?
He was a
Trump had
fucked up person.
Trump had illegal crossings as well.
Yeah, way less. You know, Trump's crossings is like, I think per month it was the Joe Biden's term was around like hundreds of thousands, and Trump is like thousands.
Can you tell me what Biden era policy shift would have caused such spikes in migration rates?
He's didn't actively patrol the border. He didn't care about it.
So he did. That's why he pressed
Him
for the
pers-
Langford Cinema border bill. He got Mexico to agree to $1.5 billion in smart border security. He
appreciate
added
the sub.
troops at the border.
Okay.
Do you
But
appreciate
it
the
still
sub,
didn't
thank you.
work because he doesn't know what he's doing, does he?
Okay, well, Trump doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, he obviously fixed the border problem.
He didn't fix any problem.
Yes, he did.
The
There was
listen,
hundreds of
this is
thousands
what
coming in
MAGA
every month, and now
frequently
there's only,
excludes
like,
from the
a few
conversation is
thousand.
that this is what you guys frequently exclude from the conversation is that month-over-month border crossings from the last year, okay, around this time last year, have been on the decline, some of its lowest rates since 2020. This is a trend of downward crossings, and you're trying to attribute that solely to Trump. At least give your due diligence to the fact that this trend started under Biden.
I mean, there was a clear drop when Trump became president.
There was a
and
clear
Biden
drop when Biden signed his executive order in July. Month over
July
month border
when?
crossings have been on the trajectory of downward.
Dude, you're coping so hard.
That's not a
Is there a
cope.
source? Is there a source?
Did
buddy?
that or did not happen?
Do you have a
Yes.
source, buddy?
Customs and Border Patrol's annual monthly reports show that July, August, and September showed some of the lowest border rates.
I don't know.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Trump's term.
I'm trying to tell you what happened. Why are you crashing out?
I'm not.
Then why are you interrupting me?
I'm not, buddy.
You just did.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Showed
Go
that
on.
month-over-month
Sorry, Ken.
apprehensions, okay, in the final year of his administration were lower than they were prior to him taking office.
So wait, hold on. I wasn't really listening. Sorry. Can you say that again?
No,
Okay.
get out of the comments.
Okay.
I'm
sorry,
saying that this is not a shift in policy here, okay? And you
Yeah,
can't
obviously
tell
it
me
was,
what
'cause
exactly
Trump
caused
sent-
them to come.
Trump
You
sent
can't
troops
tell
down
me
to the
what
border to
exactly
protect the
Biden
border,
did.
and
Stop interrupting, man. You can't tell me what exactly Biden did to cause those numbers to spike in the first place and are falsely attributing that to him.
well, I don't know what he did, but it was obviously higher.
Do you know why?
Why?
Did something happen perhaps in the last 5 years that caused global instability, massive rates of crime and poverty, particularly in the
COVID?
global south? Yes. And did perhaps a few COVID-era policies expire during that time, like Title 42?
That expired.
Was there perhaps
Like,
a
a few years ago.
backlog of cases at the border of asylum seekers from COVID?
Dude, you
So
are
yes,
so
all
stupid.
of those things in a vacuum. I'm talking circles around you, my guy.
Nobody, you're not.
Okay, well, you have yet to rebut anything I've said. But all of those things in a vacuum, in a concentrated period of time, a very small window of time, led to influxes of border crossings.
Okay.
Okay,
But
that's
it
not a
doesn't matter.
Biden policy.
No, but as soon
It's a
as Trump
matter
got
of
into office, the border
circumstance.
crossings
I'm
went
telling
way
you
down.
that did not happen as soon as he took
Yes,
office.
they did.
That was
They
on
went
the
into free fall,
trajectory.
buddy.
I gave you the numbers from July of last year, had been at its lowest, had been trending downwards.
Okay,
Trump inherited good border numbers.
No, listen. So what was the border crossing in July of last year?
I'll pull them up for you. What's the point you want to make when I do?
I just want to know.
What's the point you want to make when I do?
I just
What
want to know
relevance is it?
before I make a point, right?
Okay, why?
Because you said it's the lowest, and I want to compare that to what it is now.
I'm saying at that point it was the lowest.
Okay.
And I've
Doesn't
told you
matter when it's
already
still
it is.
high.
I'm told you already it wasn't high. It was at its lowest point. I'm telling you already its trajectory has been on the decline.
Okay. Yo, everyone.
So
follow
obviously
up.
it is lower now. It's trending. Do you know what a trend is? It's called a trend line.
Okay. It doesn't. Data doesn't normally
What are you laughing at?
drop off. That's not like a normal thing that happens. Obviously, there's a policy.
It does when there's yes, his July executive order that capped border crossing at a certain threshold and prompted people to be turned down.
Yeah, but it was still much higher than it was during Trump because Trump sent.
I explained why. I explained the key
Buddy.
reasons why that have nothing to do with Biden policy.
Hey,
Title
Tony, shut the fuck
42
up.
expired. Excuse me. Title
Sorry.
42 expired. There was an influx in crime in the global south and poverty nationwide due to COVID. Also, the backlog of cases at the border from that period from asylum seekers.
I mean, are you? If you don't clearly see the drop in border crossing, you try to say this is Biden. He did not do this.
You can't argue this with me, man. You know, you
Okay,
can't
this is not going anywhere. Can we talk
clearly,
about something
you're
else?
not comprehending anything
Can
I'm
we talk
saying.
about how Trump ended 3 wars in 6 months?
What fucking war did
He hasn't ended any
The,
wars.
the Israel-Iran, Pakistan,
That did not
India,
end.
Israel,
and,
Iran, it's a
there's another
And
one.
also, funnily
The
enough,
ceasefire is
none
not
of
an
those
end to a
countries
war.
have cited him for their ceasefire agreements.
Huh?
None of those nations credited him.
Oh yeah. Indian's prime minister said thank you, Trump, for helping.
He literally
they
said he
didn't.
had nothing to do with it.
No,
Same
they
That
with
is not true.
Pakistan.
That is not true.
Modi, I'll pull it up right now. Modi literally said Trump had nothing to
He
do
left.
with it. Listen, if you're not, these are simple. We just live in a world of dumb people. That's really all I have to say about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
PM Modi rebuts Trump's India-Pakistan ceasefire claims.
Well, there's for that.
India's Modi tells Trump there was no U.S. mediation and ceasefire agreement between Pakistan and India.
Bro just got up there to yap is right. We have Bright Eyes.
All right.
Bright
Well, I feel
Eyes.
fulfilled.
Bright Eyes. What's going on, Bright Eyes? What is going on? What's your take? What's happening?
Well, you know, I can't wrap my brain around anybody that can support someone who has been convicted of crimes to run your country. Are you
Yeah.
dumb?
All right. Well, I agree.
The answer is yes.
I agree. I do appreciate it. We are looking for a debate, though. So make that clear. If you're opposition,
Yes.
stay in the request. If you're not, please hop out. We'll open up a segment here in a minute for questions.
If you'd like to support the show here, there's a Venmo Cash App in our respective bios. June was a busy-ass month for
You can
me.
sub on any one of the platforms.
That's
Actually, I
right.
have to thank someone over here. I think Drew, appreciate it. Thank you for the 10. I'm gonna go ahead and just not read that, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Drew. And Dollar Dudette Club, appreciate it. Thank you. We got Jacob in the chat. Jacob,
Yep.
Yep.
what's going on? What's going
man.
on, Jacob? What's your take?
Not much, man.
Okay.
So what's happening? What's going on?
Nothing much. I thought you were gonna ask the like common question of why you support Trump, but I mean, if you just want me to hang out here, man, I'm more than happy.
No, I'm just wondering why you support Trump.
I think the big beautiful bill is good.
Really?
What? Gives $4 trillion to billionaires? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Why is that a good thing?
It adds $4 trillion in our debt.
$4 trillion to billionaires.
National debt.
How does $4 trillion dollars are given to billionaires? So like a bunch of billionaires are going to become trillionaires? What?
What? No, I
They're
said it
giving
adds to our national
across
debt.
billionaires. Across billionaires
okay.
are giving.
Yeah, my bad. I think necessarily giving tax cuts to like business owners, which is usually the top percent, is not necessarily a bad thing.
Why?
Because I think it incentivizes them to invest back into their own companies.
A lot of them buy up their own stock. What does that have to do with? What do you mean invest back in their own companies?
So like, so the top 1% would be owning like a myriad of different companies. I would agree with you to the furthest extent of the top 1%, but not necessarily the lower end of the 1%.
Well, when we're largely talking about billionaires, and that's who we're talking about, the incredibly wealthy. Where is this evidence that this helps stimulate the economy? Because we know that stimulating the economy through like jobs programs, that those in fact boost the economy and create jobs. So why wouldn't we just do that? We have like empirical data showing that works.
Yeah, so the empirical data, yeah, I agree that there's empirical data showing that works, but I think that it's not inconsequential to the degree of investing back into your own companies to promote more job growth. Like said, I'll give an analogy. So a business owner.
Do you have an example? I don't want an analogy. I want proof that it would work. You can show me examples.
Well, I mean,
you pointing and saying, there is already a critical flaw in your argument, is that you're saying that like, well, if we give money to all the billionaires, then some of the smaller billionaires, they'll be able to hire more people, which I don't see how that's even remotely going to be an issue for them.
Anyway, yeah, but it's not just
what investment they would do back in their country or company.
It's not just billionaires. It's also like the people that make over $450,000, which are like the major core structure
those don't qualify
of small businesses.
Those don't qualify in the 1%.
So yeah, if you want to argue the 1%,
you're conflating personal. You're conflating personal with corporate tax rates, by the way.
Yeah. So do you not think that like money comes out of their own pockets to invest back inside of the company? Like my boss himself takes money out of his own pocket to reinvest back into the company.
Typically with corporations, no.
Yeah, so like the example, right?
Like
they're
major corporations, no, they would take out a loan, they'd take out a business loan, there's a bunch of stuff they do.
Pragmatically, yeah, but it's also like in the sense it's also common for them to take money out of their own pockets. And I'll give you an example that is real, like actual real, because this is like not just, it's kind of like an anecdote, but you can use logical deductive reasoning to relate this to other companies. So my boss, right? My boss, he's like very like a wealthy man above the $500,000 tax bracket. So what he does is that since he's been granted these tax exemptions, that he invests it back inside of the companies. Like I've been given like fucking $2,000 Christmas bonuses just because out of what comes out of his own pocket, and he tells me and shows me that it comes out of his own pocket, and I'm like, wow, this is so much money. Where is this coming from? And he's like, well, like the blah 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 to the tax cuts that I get from being over 500% is related back to me.
Your boss is not a billionaire. We are talking about the 1%. The 3%
to the 1%.
include millionaires.
I would concede.
So
to
then,
the 1%,
why didn't they write this to target? Why didn't they write this to give away tax breaks to lower and smaller businesses? Because that would make more sense than handing it to corporations. Because we have ample evidence that they just take that money and they either pocket it or they invest it in stock, their own stock, to inflate the prices.
I like I said, I concede to the 1%. I don't agree with that, but what I do agree with was the tax cuts given to like the kind of like the class underneath the 1%, which is like over $500,000 if I'm not mistaken.
That's fine and all, but the argument was about the 1%. That was the crux of the argument. They're the ones that are taking up most of these tax breaks.
Yeah, I think that's like inconsequential to like the small business owners that actually produce jobs.
Why is that inconsequential? There's $4
the 1%
trillion
are not
in tax
stimulating
breaks. So
jobs.
put it in. There's, I know, but that's where the Republicans gave the money.
Yeah. So
You're using something that I'm not talking about and saying, well, that's good that they get tax breaks, and then using it to justify why people that aren't involved in that conversation get tax breaks.
I'm not using it as a
segment it. You can say people over X amount don't get these breaks. People below, above X amount get these breaks. You can set it up in brackets.
So I'm not using it as a justification. Like I said, like there's always going to be like like kind of like an underlying contradiction or undermining concept, and whenever you have like arguments, right? So like I agree and I concede to the 1%, but I think it's inconsequential to the people that actually produce jobs in modern day.
What's
We're
the
not
trade-off?
talking about it. That is a complete straw man. I don't.
That's not a
understand
straw
what
man.
the
I'm not
argument is.
straw
That's just
manning
a
your argument.
complete-
I just refuted it.
Isn't a straw man like a red herring? You're saying that smaller
Whoa,
corporations
you
getting
have 3 logical fallacies that have nothing to do with what?
well, it is a red herring. I don't think it's a straw man, but it is a red herring. You're
It's
pointing to
conceptually
something
relevant,
that
so
does
it's not a
have
red
to
herring.
do. How is it conceptually relevant that you're talking about something other than the 1%?
So okay, then you would have to agree to these things, and I'm going to give you these things in just a pragmatic sense, okay? So the Big Beautiful Bill includes tax breaks for the 1%. I agree with you. The Big Beautiful Bill also gives tax breaks to the tax class that make over $500,000, which are the majority of small business owners that actually stimulate jobs within local environments.
Okay.
So do you agree to that?
I agree that it's non-binary.
Yes,
that one can
it
be
is
good,
non-binary.
But you saying the bill is good because this, but ignoring its major flaw.
I just
is a
said I
problem.
accepted and conceded. Yeah, I accepted it and I conceded
awesome,
that there's
cool.
a major flaw.
Right.
But I
Okay,
still
let's
think it's
start with
punitively
what
better.
your argument was. Let's start with what your argument was. Your argument was that giving tax breaks to the rich, to the 1%, stimulated the economy. It has now become that that's not your argument. I didn't even
said
take my Adderall today, and I'm tracking this shit.
The words that came out of my mouth was the Big Beautiful Bill was good, like overall good, cumulatively good. Like the collective bill.
No, you're changing this. No, you don't. This is changing what you said. But okay.
Those are the words that uttered out of my mouth.
If you want to change, if you want to change it, that's fine. That's not what you said. We were talking about. You said that giving tax breaks to the rich brings it in. Then you go, oh no, and you start qualifying it down to where it would be acceptable, where we would agree, so that you could be agreeable, which feels really manipulative. But okay.
So you wouldn't agree that people making over $500,000 are rich?
That's a straw man. I didn't see that.
That's not a straw man.
Jeff, appreciate the sub. Thank you. That is absolutely a straw man, man. I never made that. What? Can you tell me when I made that point? Can you tell me when I made that point? Because I never made that point.
Make your terms and definitions clear.
It wasn't a definition. It wasn't a definition. Now you're just arguing to argue. It wasn't even a definition. You said this was my argument. It had nothing to do with the definition. Stop making shit up. It's getting annoying.
Okay, I'm gonna
Jeff,
re-clarify and restate my statement, and then if you want to,
that's
if
fine.
you choose, to engage disingenuously, like saying that was my previous argument, that's fine. I'm just going to ignore it. What I'm going to say, right?
And you can fuck off.
Okay.
It's crazy the fucking gaslighting that just happened in that conversation. If you choose to act whatever,
Yeah.
no.
How
we
would
can
you
do
say that
that.
something is
Fucking
cumulatively
manipulative
good
bullshit.
based on the, I don't know, slice of it out of the pie that's actually decent versus the rest of it that's toxic?
This is what it would be like. A guy gets shot. He goes to the doctor, and the doctor goes, "What are you complaining about? 99% of you is fine." Like, what? What do you mean?
Think of all the parts that didn't
That's
get
not a
shot.
good thing. Yeah, think of
Look at all
everything.
the
It's a
organs you
good.
still
Everything that
have.
did get shot. Look
Come
at
on.
look at what still works. Huh? That's not the problem.
All things
okay? You
considered,
don't
it's a
address
good shot.
everything else that's good. Right. Jesus Christ.
Liberals, they annoy the shit out of me. Hey, Brooke, thanks for the $1.
You know what's
I guess
funny about that,
she's
though?
on-
Yeah,
she's on
thanks.
board with the tic tac tax. That's hard to
You know what's
say.
funny about that whole thing though, is that he thinks he thinks I wasn't gonna catch on. Like that's the whole hilarious part about that. Is he's like, oh, he won't. There's no way he's gonna catch on now. I gotcha.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Why does the YouTube thumbnails? Why are they not like? Why are they the fucking worst?
do you
They're
mean?
always like the auto-generated ones are terrible.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
I like the ones that you're doing though. Do you pay for that app, right?
Jeff, appreciate it. Thank you. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Then you can do thumbnails.
Man, it's been a long day. Okay. Just want to break for a second.
You're itching to get off. I can feel it.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
I'm just. I'm gonna run it out here. I got 3 in the box. It's just like such a. There was something that happened with Baby K's mom, and she's fine, but it's been chaos. So I'm gonna run through it. I'm
Stressing.
gonna probably take a second and let you guys debate this next one. She's fine, and everything
All
like
right.
that, but
I'll add him.
yeah.
Heather. Heather? Scarborough. Hello?
Oops.
Okay, nope. Let's see.
Hold on really quick. We got Steve joining, and my son always goes, ask me who I am. I'll be like, who are you? He goes, I'm Steve from Minecraft. It's pretty cute. Steve, go ahead.
Well, I didn't even know I was in the box. Wait, well that's okay. I'll still debate.
Okay.
Wait. I think I know why I support Trump though.
You think? That's why we say you don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what do you got?
I support him. I support his deportation operation and his abortion legislation.
Legislation. All right. Well, anyways, you support the mass deportations. Why is that?
Because they came here illegally and we gotta uphold the law.
You can do that with amnesty.
Yeah, but if you deport them, that's also.
But also, they're not upholding the law because they're denying them due process.
Right, but under the
I'd say-
Alien Invaders Act of 1798, Trump can deport without due process.
Well, that was rejected by the courts. But
Yeah, but why
and
was
no,
it
you
rejected by
can't
the courts?
because you were
We
owed
weren't
due
at war.
process. Right, because it has to do with wartime, which we're not.
Yeah, right. But would you also consider Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Korea?
They didn't
not
invade
wars
us.
because they didn't go
them.
to.
But
They
they didn't invade us.
congressional-
They didn't invade us, so that's why it's not apt of a comparison.
Right, but they didn't go to congressional declaration, meaning no war, right?
We aren't talking about war. We're talking about migrations. Can we stay on that?
Yeah, right. But
It's
to
irrelevant.
enact the Alien Invaders Act, you have to be at war.
Right, which we're not.
And I would consider us at war, even though again didn't
We
go to.
aren't. I
congressional
don't care what
declaration.
you consider us. We aren't at war.
Yes, but
Somebody
by that
crossing the
right,
border is
Jaden,
not
but
an
that-
act of war.
By that definition, you would have to consider the times we were at war that I just named not wars.
Which they did not invade us with. So
It
it's
doesn't- you don't-
irrelevant.
You don't have to be invading us.
Yes, it has to be on our yes, it does.
No,
That's
it
what the law
doesn't.
stipulates. Where does it say otherwise?
We have to be at wartime.
Where does it write?
We're at wartime.
We are not at wartime.
Okay,
So
okay. Let me explain to you how we are.
Irrelevant.
Okay,
I don't care what you can explain. Legally, we are not stopped. We are not in a war.
There was the size of New Jersey, the population of New Jersey was in here illegally. We had a war.
That's not a war.
There's victims of this war. Rachel Moore,
Per
Alex
your
Rogers Jr., Lincoln
definition,
Riley.
okay, Molly
There's
Tibbetts.
victims of this war.
It's not a war.
Yes,
Crime,
it is.
acts of crime are not acts of war.
The population of New Jersey invaded us. They were in here illegally.
It's not an act of war. Mass migration is not an invasion.
It is an invasion.
It's not. Man, you feel like you've taken a page out of Right Corner School of Debate. That's not an invasion.
Right. You say we aren't at war.
Because we're not. Legally and physically, we are not.
Yes, you say legally, but by that definition,
legally,
you would have to consider Korea and
morally.
Vietnam not wars.
How are those
you
relevant?
Still do.
How are those relevant?
Because they didn't
those
go through
were
a congressional
No,
declaration.
that is false. They did have congressional declarations. Hence why
Vietnam
we had a
did?
draft. We had a
Vietnam?
we had a draft for that.
Did Afghanistan? Did Iraq?
Yes,
No,
those
they
were
did not,
congressionally
no,
approved.
they
That is
didn't.
what the
They
excuse
did
me.
not, though.
Yes, those were
Bro, this
all
is-
congressionally approved.
No, you are objectively wrong.
That
They
is
did not go through
I
a
will pull this up
declaration.
to you.
Yeah, they called them conflicts.
Yeah,
instead
it's
of
not
wars.
war.
But that allowed Congress to allocate funds for. the
Yeah,
wars
right,
that
but
we're involved
but,
in.
but TikTok.
Right, right.
the TikTok,
Semantics.
bro.
Semantics.
This
right?
really is a semantic argument.
Right.
Yes.
So you say
the Iraq
so he
War
just
was voted in on. I don't know what the argument is at this point.
the argument is that the countries I named to you were not declared by Congress, meaning they're not wars under your view, but we still consider those wars. What is going on with the Biden-Harris administration allowing 11 million in here illegally? That is an act of war. They invaded our country, and we can deport without due process through the 1798 Act.
So no, we can't. And I've already explained why. I mean,
Yeah,
you
and I
haven't
just
made any kind of
completely
delineation.
defeated
You
why you
keep
said why.
no. I'll explain why, okay? Because you keep arguing this. Not only does that not have a congressionally approved status of war, but also we didn't utilize it during Iraq and Afghanistan because those were not legally declared wars as well. Colloquially, they were. Those were not
Could
wars,
have.
though.
We didn't. We could have.
But
though.
those were okay, but we didn't. So what
Okay,
point does it
we
make?
didn't. We could have though. We could have.
Okay, but we didn't.
Okay, what is the point? We could have.
Your point is that we should declare war now. Against who are we declaring war against?
No, we don't have to declare war.
You
We're
would
at
have
war
to
with
in order to
illegals
initiate the
invading
Aliens
us.
Invasion Act.
Right, and we're at wars with illegals invading us.
Okay, that is not a war.
It is definitely a war. I just
No, it's
proved to you
not.
how it is.
No, it's not.
Under
Under the terms of war, that would not constitute a war.
Yes, it wouldn't constitute a war, but by that logic,
Okay.
the countries I named, you have to now admit aren't wars.
I never said they were.
Okay, great. So you are on this live with
Those were
639.
congressionally approved conflicts.
so you are
I think
gonna
we
say that-
colloquially call them war, but legally they wouldn't classify in the same way that World War I or World War II would.
Right. So now you're gonna say right here and say that Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Korea weren't wars.
Colloquially, we call them that. But
Yeah,
the
you're
precise
disingenuous.
decision
I'm out
of
of here.
war. Are you arguing that they are or aren't wars then? Because now your argument makes no sense. Hello? But he left? I can't hear you, Tommy.
You're muted.
My bad. It was just funny because it's like the whole time he's like, it's not a war. It's like, that's what the argument was about, whether or not it was a war. Ah, goodness. Goodness gracious. Oh, shit.
What? Did he kick him or did he run?
He ran. He was like, I'm out of here.
Oh.
I really was like, oh, I should call it. I was like, no, I'm going to power through it. I'm going to power through it. And then fucking this guy showed up. The fucking Trump whisperer. All right. Josh, you wanted to meet this solo? Josh, I don't want...
Why me? Am I
I've
the
talked to him enough.
low-hanging
I don't
fruit?
know.
You haven't had your solo
No.
opportunity tonight.
He said they kicked him. He literally said, I'm out of here.
I
he
didn't even
lost. Just like you did when Trump won. Fuck, I don't want to debate him. Jane, you want to debate him? I don't. Is there anyone
let's
else?
do it together.
Let's hold.
Oh, we got
pinkies
someone
while
else.
we do
Q.
it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Is that Ben Shapiro?
Hypothetically speaking.
Q. Hypothetically speaking.
Yes. What?
Q, what's up?
What else do y'all do together? Is the guy below me part of the LGBT crossdresser?
What, do you want to hit on me?
You
I mean, for
interested?
$20, maybe.
I'm just asking.
Are you asking
Why are
for
you
a
asking?
cameo, bud?
Hang on. Let me talk to him. Well, why are you curious? I mean, does it matter?
He's giving
Does
me
it
the-
like? How does that
curious?
affect any
Why,
argument
curious?
that I brought up? Like, even if
He's
I was the
giving me-
gayest person in this chat, which I'm not, what difference would that make?
He's
Are you
giving
somehow
me that,
incapable of debating me because I'm so super gay?
He's giving me the trans vibe.
I'm giving you a boner. That's what I'm giving you.
All right, calm it
Testes
down.
are
Hold on. TikTok's gonna go crazy.
Testes.
Would you
This
like
thing
that?
on?
Testes 1, 2, 3.
What are you saying? I can't hear you over the horniness.
Oh yeah. Would you like that?
Would I like what?
Are you pulling up the cuck chair right now as we speak? What's going on?
Bro, what's up with that look?
Why are you
Did this
interested
go the way
or
you thought it was
not?
gonna?
Or not?
Are you interested or not? Just make your case. Not going well for you, man.
No. Hell no.
Okay, well, get
Wait,
off
how
my
tall are
sexy
you?
ass look. What?
How tall are you? Are your feet clean?
Oh, you're
let's
asking
talk
him.
about
Okay,
this,
I
bud.
thought he
yeah,
asked
no,
that.
I'm asking him.
Okay. Are we done with my appearance?
There's a
Let's make this
refreshment.
weird.
What?
You need a tic tac before we kiss?
Here we go. That's where I come in.
See, appreciate the sub.
I
Thank
don't-
you. We got 22 out of 30
Yeah.
of the night.
I'll let him kiss me. You know.
Okay, interesting.
You
Wait,
know
you
where.
want to kiss me on the mouth? Is that what you just said?
This is getting weird. Save it for Grindr. Do you have a
Boy.
debate?
That was that took it. That was like a
Yeah.
Did you
You
guys hear
ruined
that?
the
Yeah.
fun.
So anyways, look, I didn't want to vote for Sleepy Joe, right?
He wasn't running.
He didn't run. What are you talking about?
I know he wasn't running, so what would you have had to vote for in the
Are
first
you
place? He
saying
wasn't the
that
candidate.
he didn't?
You understand that
wasn't
Joe Biden did not run for president in the November election?
Holy shit, dude! Are you kidding me?
Were you born yesterday? No. Who was the
He
candidate
was-
at the debate? At the September debate? Who were the two
Oh, that
candidates on
was-
stage?
You kind of wanted to jump forward to the.
What are you
September.
talking about
What
jumping
what
forward? Joe Biden was not the candidate on the ballot.
Oh, okay. Well, why did him and Trump go on stage and have a debate?
What? Because he
Wait,
was
I
a
got it.
candidate. He was not the nominee.
Thank you.
He wasn't the nominee.
candidate. Obviously, he wasn't the nominee, Jackwagon.
Okay,
But
then that is
he
why I'm
wasn't-
saying
I got
it
it.
makes no. Oh, perfect. Thank you. I'm glad you saved that. That's why I'm saying it makes no sense for you to say you couldn't vote for Biden, even though he wasn't the candidate at the end of the day.
I'm glad that you put at the end of the day. On there,
That's
too.
all I've said was he was not the candidate on the November ballot.
Okay,
He
now
was not
you're
the
being-
nominee at
now
that
you're
point.
being- now you're being more specific. Thank
This is
you.
the
It
worst
shouldn't
first date
take
ever.
that fucking much for you to understand what I'm saying. He was not the Democratic nominee. So you saying I couldn't bring myself to vote for Biden is irrelevant because he wasn't running anyways. At some point he was. He wasn't in the last 6 months of the election or so.
Thank you.
You knew that
So,
though.
Number one, I would
least should've.
want to.
Okay, he wasn't the candidate. Make the argument about Harris, for the love of
Let me
God.
know when you're done, princess.
What?
Doing it
Flirting
again.
Are you done, princess?
Buddy, I will muzzle you with my ass cheeks.
Hey,
If you can stay on this
Hey,
goddamn
I
Q.
conversation.
know
Hey,
you would
Q.
want to. I
Q.
could tell
Show
you're
us.
part of the community.
Q. Show us the well where you make them put the lotion on.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Dude, no wonder why you voted for Harris. You got that same cackle, bro. That little nervous cackle.
All right. It wasn't nervous. It
I
was just
love
me
it.
laughing at you. But
I
all
wasn't
right.
nervous.
Okay, this is weird. You nervous, aren't you?
Nervous cackle. There it is again.
I know it's your first.
There it
Knees
is.
weak,
You're
palms
nervous,
sweaty.
aren't you?
I haven't done my dating show in a while. I think we'll do that after this.
This is chaotic, but hilarious.
It is.
Not a thought
Attaboy.
between those eyes unless it involves Grinder.
Hey, do you help Jaden straighten that hair? That
Yeah.
hair of his?
You guys are enjoying the roast
You're
session.
really obsessed with my
There
appearance.
is, I know he really is. There's a Venmo Cash App at the bio. You guys could sub on any one of the platforms if you're watching this over on YouTube after the fact. While it's going live, you guys can sub over there as well, or Patreon. Links in the bio.
I'm here too. You can flirt with me too.
You don't have a
Makes
picture.
me feel
Josh.
good.
Put a
I know,
picture
but
up and I might.
He's really focused on Jaden, so I don't do it for him.
I know.
No.
He saw that. He saw
I
Jaden's
would
picture
really
and
like
was
that
like,
also.
"Damn."
A smooth, shirtless black man with long hair.
I'm gonna click on it now.
Like that? You know, I haven't shaved my chest in like 2.5 years now. I'm a hairy guy. Like a shag carpet. Come
oh
back.
my god! They don't go anywhere.
You are
you go.
definitely part of the
Yeah, sit
community,
down.
bro.
Q's.
Okay, are you interested?
Like,
Katie
we
said,
have 687 people here.
You know,
We
I
need
don't
come
have to
out
like
on-
go
on
into
live,
MAGA
bro.
lives and say, man, you are straight.
"Man, you're so much."
I bet you don't wipe your ass.
Katie said, "Speaking of subs." Oh god!
Hey, so let me ask you something.
If
have
this
you
is
came
too
out
soon,
yet?
bud, you gotta wait a little bit. Second date, maybe.
Have you,
What does
have
the
you
Q
came
stand
out
for
yet?
Buy me
exactly?
dinner first.
What?
Have you came out, Jaden? Have you came out yet? Yes or no?
Are you interested? Have you? Yeah, I think that's the better
I
question.
mean, this is the question we need to
asking
know.
you, though.
I'll come
want
out
to
when you
know.
do,
I'm
okay?
curious because if you
We can
want
hold
to,
hands
we
and we'll
have
do it together.
684
We'll go to your
people
parents'
here.
house first, and then we'll do it at mine, okay?
We'll link
This is a
pinkies.
safe- This is a safe place for you to come out.
Well, yeah, I'm pansexual. How about you?
There you go.
Everyone's known that.
Yeah, that's not a secret. What are you?
Yeah.
I'm straight as can be.
Lies.
Anytime
Yeah,
anybody,
somebody
no,
at the
that's a
door.
cover. No, no, no.
You keep talking to him. I got neighbors at the door.
Yeah. Real straight people, it doesn't bother. Like, oh, straight. No one has to add the qualifiers. That's how you know. That's defensive. I do appreciate you keeping trans hub stars employed, though. It's really kind of you.
Straight as can be, he says.
Jaden's gonna get an OnlyFans.
Except that one time.
What?
So, anyways,
So anyway, are you done
what's
being
a Q
embarrassed?
stand? What's a Q stand for?
Brandon, appreciate it. Thank you.
No idea. You're either part of that community that's like around now, or you're a big fan of like 1980s Star Trek. I'm not sure.
By the way, sub goal, we got 7 left. No, 9 left until we hit the sub goal.
No, it's
How's
it's
the
my
Dollar
favorite.
Dude Club going?
It's my favorite brand.
Oh, I haven't checked in a second. Appreciate the sub.
All
Thank
right,
you
I'm
for
back.
the sub.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
On TikTok and Tia, appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? Subs on TikTok are 2, by the way, because they cost more because I can't add a lower tier. So if you guys want to sub over there, it does count for 2 for the sub goal. We got 24 out of 30. Tia, appreciate it. Thank you. Bless his heart. He thinks he's straight.
It's the first of the month, so my neighbor
Bless his
gives me
heart.
free dinner and $20 for the parking spot that I let them have. So that's
That's
what I was
awesome.
busy doing. Yeah,
It's a good deal.
I think so. Anyways, Q,
Q,
did
you
you come
done?
out yet?
Q, you got it? You done hitting on us?
Did he come out? I missed it.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
You're done.
Hey,
We were just
Dennis,
getting started.
appreciate the dollar. The dollar. Appreciate it for the Dollar Dude Club.
Bro,
Appreciate
I've
it,
only
Dennis.
got
Thank
half
you.
chub.
I know. I'm like 3/4 right now.
All right, we gotta back it up. All right, we gotta level it out. We gotta level it out. We gotta keep it straight. Brooke, appreciate it. Got you $1.
So, anyways,
Relieved I decided no stash. Yeah, with no mustache.
Harris and Biden was not an advocate for the 1031 exchange. I'm a huge advocate for it. Trump's an advocate for it, and that's why I voted for him. For one of many.
The 1031 exchange.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Which one's this again?
Tell us.
Tax deferment.
Okay.
Which tax deferment?
It's a tax deferment on a gains of your real estate. So if you have a real estate property, you sell it, you can use 100% of the proceeds to roll into a different investment.
And where did Donald Trump support that?
He's just always been an advocate for it. It's not in a
when?
specific.
Hello?
When did he do that?
Yeah.
Is there any evidence to suggest that Harris or Biden didn't support that?
Yes, there is. It's on tax. Hold on, let me get the name for you. Hold on.
I do want to point out, though, again, just skirting taxes. That's all it is, just helping out the rich.
Let's see. Harris's endorsement of Biden's fiscal year 2025 budget, which includes these restrictions, suggests she supports scaling back the use of 1031 exchanges for high-income earners and large real estate investors.
Holy shit, dude. That guy's quick. Jaden, you're pretty quick.
Thank you. You should see me in bed. Anyways, if we're talking about this, what exactly is the argument to suggest that Trump is better on this, or how that affects you?
Like a bunny.
Well, it affects me because I own real estate and I use that tax deferment regularly, and it also helps many Americans, as you know, or I'm sure you know, that majority of millionaires in America are millionaires.
No, but you're not a millionaire.
Teresa paid for Tony Polisi. We're gonna bring back Tony Polisi in a minute here. Dubs and Drums in the chat for Teresa. Appreciate it. Thank you. We're gonna wrap it up with your final thoughts. Teresa paid to kick with the $30. Thank you. Could we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Teresa? I know I wanted it to go on longer, but you know we're getting towards the end of the live here, so try to move on.
What's your tax bracket?
You can come back later to hit on Gene. Teresa, appreciate it. Thank you.
It would be around 45-50% if I did not have any.
Are you making about 400K?
On one of the businesses, yes. So basically, I have.
Well, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about a business. I'm talking about like personal income.
Yes, I do. So I have 3 streams of income.
What are they?
So I have around 400K coming from 60 single-family homes and 80 apartment units.
You're a landlord.
So basically, I make a.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. You can get bad.
Yeah, get fucked.
Nah. We don't do landlords here. Nah.
Thanks, David, for the 5 subs over on TikTok.
Nah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Disrespect. Ultimate disrespect towards landlords.
Or was it on YouTube?
Yeah. I think we're going to call it for the night. I don't think we have any debates. Teresa, again, appreciate it. Thank you. If you guys want to sub, would appreciate it. We almost hit it. We were 6 away. So pretty close.
That's right.
I think we'll set up a goal. Maybe I'll do a mustache if we hit it like every sub goal for like a week.
Whatever, man. I can't believe you shaved after that conversation. Man. Like, what's up with that?
What, the mustache? I was going to grow it back out and shave it out. Shave it.
Wow. I think I'll do my dating show for a little bit.
Oh, Jaden's going to go live with the dating show. Okay.
That's right. Let's see what we get. Let me use the bathroom first, but I'm going to start it up in a moment here.
All right, sounds good.
See you guys later.
Brandon, appreciate it.
Take
Thank
care. You all be safe.
All right, everyone. I'll be back on at 9 p.m. Everybody over on YouTube, sit tight for a second. I'll be back over at 9 p.m. Pacific. And I will see you guys on the next one. Or sorry, 9 a.m. Pacific. And I will see you guys on the next one. What time is it? All right, I will see you guys tomorrow.